Welcome, my lovely dears, to another fantabulous, mystifying adventure in the Western Chivalrics. When last we left off, our grand crusading knights fought down, catching off guard at least a little bit, but not entirely with their pants down, a series of knightly captainos, ones who would seek to have made life quite difficult for the rest of the knights trying to make their way through this island. And then, after dispatching them and knocking their leader unconscious and walking around with her tied up in a bunch of ropes, went to collect an ancient tablet that they might hand it to the Lady of Chivalry, who returned the tablet with glorious stories and permitted them entrance to Avalon's depths. They've been warned that from the moment they enter, they have 24 hours to return, lest they be trapped inside. And so the Grand Stoic and Mighty Mayrog is keeping watch for you all so that you don't get trapped. Of course, before you make that initial descent downwards, you still have a prisoner to deal with.
This is true.
Do we? I don't remember last week.
We took one of the Dark Knights
It's true.
prisoner.
And you kick the shit out of her horsey.
Well, it's
Hang
her
on.
fault for having an undead horse.
It
You
was her
wanted
fault for
to
having an
interrogate her about
Yes.
the rune she had.
Wait,
Mr.
hang on.
Clip-Clops was more than a horse. He was an accordion
That makes
also.
it worse.
I have an image for this. I know how to prepare her for interrogation. I'll put this in Chivs. If you're streaming, don't look
I
at
mean,
Chivs.
I don't stream.
Or look at that on the other
Yeah, it's fine.
screen.
Yeah, just do that to her.
Alright then. Well, you could just make it easy on us and just talk to us about, or rather talk to Tristan about where you got your runes from, or who taught you, or anything like that.
So she'll slide you over. Yeah, and she's still tied up and watching you all curiously.
I suggest you just make it easy on us and just tell Tristan.
And what do you think happens to me after I tell you everything?
What
huh?
happens if you don't?
What do you... Yes.
Then I guess I choose don't if I'm
You're
dead
not
either
dead
way.
if you tell me. You're not in the habit of executing.
Oh, that's what I just asked, clearly. Uh-huh. Not in the habit of executing. She will look you lot over. Come on, you must think I'm a fucking idiot.
No, actually, I think you're a pretty talented rune designer.
Flattery will
You
get
sure
you
about
nowhere. Pretty fucking sure.
Listen,
Hallie's just gonna prop herself on a rock and pull out a ham sandwich while Tristan's
this
flirting.
temporal rune you have here, it's channeling life force to somewhere, isn't it?
Well, you figured that out, didn't you, big brains? What you
Well,
need
I'm
me for, then,
curious
huh?
where it's going to. Who is it that you're feeding this life force to?
Myself. Surely you've noticed the restoration effects built into it? Not that I got a chance to use them much myself.
A character. Does that line up with what Tristan discovered? It doesn't sound like it does.
Let's see here. What have I given you so far in information? Open up this baddie's sheet. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. It sounds close. It could be true. If that's the case, then she's skipping over some steps for sure.
Hello.
Beep, beep.
Hello.
You're skipping over some steps at the very least. It's stealing not just vitality from someone, but potential life.
Sure. Obviously, it's because I'm, vastly superior to, generic vampy blade use and losers.
Well, Bob's got a 28 insight on that shit.
She certainly seems to think that vampire blades are for losers.
Bob is gonna be keeping like where she's trying to dodge and how she's trying to evade the questioning.
So what?
If it were that simple, then why not have healed yourself with some of the force you took from me then?
'Cause you're still quite alive.
So what? You kill someone with a rune, then you just channel their life into you, and what? You get eternal youth if you just keep murdering people with it?
Nah, eternal youth's nothing but trouble. Makes you strong.
Makes you strong, huh? That's really it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Yep.
essence stealing.
Well, the blade is, sure. No different to yours, it's just mine is obviously far superior, because I'm a genius.
Well, if that's all it does, it is an interesting choice, even if it only works when you kill someone. Obviously didn't work out that well for you.
Well, I'm not going to tell you all the secrets, they're a bit glorious. Hey, you say it doesn't work out well for me. I was a little old farmer girl about a year ago. Think I've come
And
pretty
where's a
fucking far,
farmer
ain't I?
girl learn how to craft runes onto a blade? Learn how to fight like that?
Ah, well, you've just asked the rub of it, ain't you? She
Alright.
smiles quietly.
Didn't get you far enough now, did it?
Well, I think I did pretty well for a year. But I also know how this ends.
Come on, if you're just some farm girl, tell us what happened.
Give me a
Sure.
persuade.
It doesn't have to end the way you think it does.
Sounds like Ariel's assisting me.
Sure.
Alright. Persuasion. Boop. Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Critical hit.
She glowers quietly before eventually speaking up. Alright, so, I guess I shall paint you a pretty picture. Sweet little farm girl working on a farm, as farm girls are wont to do, milking cows. Actually, it was mostly just milking cows at one point, but you get the idea. Along comes big, handsome, sexy lad. He's wearing his sweet dark armor and his fancy hood, and he's got lots of money, and he asks what's up, and you think, oh, sweet, I don't have to milk cows for a living anymore. So you go up to him, and then you find out when he takes you back to his room that he's rented in the top tavern of your papa's place that he intends to fillet a fish ya. Except, he's distracted because he thinks he's tied you up, but actually your other arm's pretty free because you learn how to do knots from your friend who had a fishes for a father. You slip your arm free and grab his blade off the side of the desk and jab him square in the keister. Well, he tripped over and started to panic because, he was fucking naked and I nearly took his knob off. And so I kept on stabbing until he died. And hey, what do you know? He turned to withered skeleton before my very eyes. And then I knew everything he knew. And I could do everything he could do. No point hanging around being a fucking farm girl after that, is there?
What, wait, with his death, you gained all of his knowledge.
There you have it. The rub.
I see. So how'd you end up here then? Why not go adventuring? Go join a knightly order? Why work for someone who wants to conquer the world and turn half us into vampires or worse?
Oh, come on now. Do you think there's absolutely no cost to the sudden increase of power? You can't stop doing bad things. Just like, kill a guy, take on all of his little traumas and every one of his other little victims, and then just sort of wander around through life normally. Nah, mate, you just gotta keep moving.
There's a difference between keeping moving and
So-
joining a bunch of mass murderers.
Right, but why did he keep moving, going in that direction, rather than join a knightly order and do good for the world?
Because he found doing bad was fun, and so now I do too, if you're looking for the simple answer. Obviously, I'm summing over a whole bunch of other crap, but that's pretty much how it comes down.
Sounds like you got a raw deal in the end, though, even if you did get a bunch of power.
Well, yeah, I was doing real well till you turned up.
I more meant that you had to take on all of his little eccentricities and, I suppose, ideals in a fashion.
Eh.
So,
I don't
Skow,
feel
with
that way.
the 29 Arcana, so if she's absorbed all this trauma through a vampiric type weapon, would this perhaps count as an insanity, something we could dispel?
It's more than that. Like, imagine you just suddenly gained the template to someone's character sheet, and that character happened to have the turn to darkness 3 strikes on your out already on it.
Could you say that the you were before is proud of the you now?
Fucking beats me, I don't care.
Shouldn't you? It is
I
you,
probably
after all.
should, but I don't.
Yeah, if you're at least aware enough that you probably should care, maybe there is some helping you.
What? No. That's, well, obviously I've put some thought into it, but that's the problem, you see. I don't really give a shit about who I used to be, and yeah, I should feel bad, and I'm glad I don't. I'm probably gonna die, but that's also fine. I've, lived a bunch of lifetimes in this year, thanks to the fact of this fucking blade and that lad.
What if you didn't have to? What if you could get help?
Don't fucking want it.
You think the you used to be would have wanted it?
Don't make me feel feelings.
The one is used to be probably would have already collapsed crying in a sobbing mess and got crazy and begged for her life and all that stupid shit. So, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not.
Can you tell me about your parents?
No, fuck you.
Why not?
Because it's none of your fucking business.
So how are they doing then?
I just told you, fuck you.
Well, you don't care. So what does it matter?
Yeah, but also, I like not telling you things. And I decided that that one's personal and fuck you.
Well, it's good to know. Well, there's at least some bit of you that actually thinks of it.
She rolls her eyes. Are you quite done now?
Other character, like, no, Savin, you're on, like the whole mania thing. You think a great arrestor would
That's what
remove
I
a
already asked, and
madness?
the answer was no, unfortunately.
No.
She is
She's
someone whose
too far
character sheet has
gone.
been turned over. She has contextualized that insanity quite comfortably.
We need a Tammy if we wanted to get rid of like the 3 strikes thing on her.
Yep, and you probably wouldn't leave something entirely intact behind.
Well, might as well try. It's not your fault you ended up like this.
Might as well try
Well,
what?
we've got something in our back pocket that might help you out.
Help me out with
Getting
what,
rid of this new
genius?
you.
Ugh,
No.
can't you just kill me instead? Fucking save me the trouble. Go on, surely one of you will.
No, because...
How about you?
See?
You look like a zealot. She'll tip her head back and look up at Faunra.
Hunter is ready to
See, here's the
execute
thing.
the girl. Yes.
Go on, I'll blow your kisses till you crack. It'll be easy, just sword through the throat.
But
Boop,
we
I'm
like
gone.
blue
No
balling
more
you.
evil. I can bite my tongue.
Uh-huh. Tristan's just gonna give her a bop on the head, knock her out. With her magnificent 1 hit point.
Yep, she goes back
Alright.
out. Sees you rearing up to lamp her and gets halfway through going, oh, you cut... and it's lamped.
I know what you're suggesting, Tristan. I don't
I
know if it
don't
actually
either.
will work.
Just out here offering ego deaths.
But... hearing a girl who defended herself got turned into a monster by a magic sword resonates a little bit. I think...
Doesn't sit well,
If
does it?
Tammy can help, I'd like to at least make the try.
Indeed. It's not, like I said, it's not her
Mhm.
fault. She was foisted upon the whole mind of a murderer of darkness. And the fact that she actually refused to, like, tell things that, like, oh, it's personal, I'm gonna die anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, she actually, there's still some sliver which would probably allow her to regrow.
Castle frown. I don't know. That could just be spite.
Yeah, very much could just be
I
spite.
don't think it much matters. This personality she's showing us is just a construct. Built up by a mind torn apart by magic.
Hey,
Not you kind of construct. A psychological one. Mara, keep her out cold. We'll take her to Tammy if we can.
well, just in case she thinks it's a good idea to fight for Tom, let me just gets a gag.
Well, if that doesn't work, I mean, I do have one thing I can do. I can ask really, really nicely. So we can always put
It's
that in
true.
the
You
bag.
could just ask Embla for her blessing on a wayward daughter. Want to try it? See if we can save us the trip to Tammy.
It's really, really hard to do. It might
Yeah.
not work. He doesn't come down and do miracles every day, you know.
Statistically, there's a 10% chance that she does.
Oh, we believe in you, Hallie. And, well,
You should believe in my D percentile dice.
It's not a belief in her, it's whether or not that... No, not the best way to say it.
Let her cast the spell.
Don't worry about it.
Whatever it is. Might be a 1 or 100.
Alright. And Hallie is going to cast out her voice to Embla to reach down and touch the mind of a broken and wayward soul. Divine intervention.
Oh.
Is it in this game? Is it 90 to 100 or
1 to 10, I believe.
1 to 10?
it's based on your levels, so 1 to 10.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking. Is it 1 to 10 or 90 to 100?
Let's go with 90 to 100 because it's more dramatic to get a big green number.
I mean, it's a big... Is
No,
it a
it's
green number? I
a
thought it was
big
red
green number on
number.
100.
No, red.
Oh, okay.
No, just
The
Just
top of the
middle.
dice
No.
is always green.
Oh, no.
Divine
Alright, print up that
intervention.
card.
There's no
Uh,
penalty for failure.
Okay,
This doesn't do
It-
anything.
there is none. It just doesn't do it yet. But hang on, I don't have it put on my character sheet, so hang on.
Divine Intervention is a D100 roll.
I know.
Start.
I'm pulling it up. Ooh. I was waiting for D100 to open up. Intervention.
If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your
So it isn't
deity
inherently
intervenes.
a. That's what I thought. It's supposed to be low.
Yeah, whatever.
Yay. Alright, so you feel this magic settle itself down on the woman's shoulders, but there's no responding reach up to the heavens, such as it is. You've not been ignored, like fucking Embla never ignores. But at the same time, it wasn't acknowledged on this occasion. It's sort of like a message definitely buzzed her phone, but she hasn't checked her phone this time.
Even gods need to take moo milky breaks.
Yep. Currently, she's busy getting a foot rub.
Well, you tried.
Oh,
Interesting spell, though. There's just a chance that Embla says, "Yeah, sure, I'll help," and pokes.
who was saying that? You or an NPC?
Cass.
Yeah. I am. I guess high up in the clergy is what you would say. I've been an emblemite for a really, 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 really long time.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Are you sure we just leave her to lone Mayrog?
Tied up and gagged? Yes, I think Mayrog can take them just fine.
Mayrog will flash a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chained up
And with no
tied
weapons or armor. If she wakes up, just knock her back out. Keep her cold.
Ah, good old
Yep.
CTE.
Well, some minor brain trauma is the least of her worries at this point.
Yeah.
Also, I'm
fair.
glad you described the character sheet getting taken away part, Scout, because there was definitely like a really intense part of Tristan that wanted to just be like, "Oh, you don't want to tell us anything, huh?" And pick up her own sword and just chop her head off with it. Your knowledge is mine now, bitch. Ah!
Yeah, I'd have been like, all right, Tris, thanks for a character sheet.
Yeah, I appreciate getting headed off at the pass there. Yeah,
You're
that
very
would
close
have
to
been
a bad
fun.
end.
Yep. It would have been a
Yeah,
really, really
I know.
gutless one, too. Wow.
Oh well. Anyway, on to Avalon, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes,
spared
to
that
Avalon.
ignominious end, you place the slab and head down the pass as stairs open up before you. The ghost will give you a little salute as you pass down this staircase. Say it opens. It looks like the grass, stone, and dirt all become a solid marble, fold in on themselves, turning into a staircase wide enough for all of you to descend without bonking your heads. And so that descent begins. It's probably like a 5-10 minute walk all the way down. It heads, as you might expect, under the lake before, abruptly, you are faced with an entirely different sight.
Welcome to Rivendare.
Where the fuck is Elrond?
As you step out into the open, you can hear rushing water on all sides. You look up, there's a beautiful pink sunset sky. It's reminiscent of the sunset sky you just came from. And there are great stoical waterfalls that wrap all the way around the range of this lake from the inside. So, indeed, it looks like this city beneath the lake, this Avalon, is quite surrounded. You're also not alone as you exit out. A rather tall, slender, like 6.5-foot woman with blue flesh and moon sigils glowing upon her brow looks you over with wary eyes. Give me an insight.
Okay.
Sure.
Wow, it's the best insight I've ever rolled.
Inside. Hey, pretty good.
All right.
Oh, wow.
All right. Cass, Hallie, you at least recognize that for some fucking reason, she absolutely hates the sight of Faunra and Ariel. She glares at them, like full-on glares at them, before mastering herself.
Squint. We got a racist.
But they're not a race.
They're a bun racist, a bracist.
We're not.
They
We're
are
human.
cursed.
I'm a human. Excuse you.
And I'm a half elf, yes.
Oh, too late.
Yes.
She saw the bunny ears. She hates you.
Yep, because bunnies are a curse upon the living.
On the living.
She stands up, and you can see that there is this magnificent great bow that's been resting at her feet. She plucks it up with one hand and draws an arrow for it, although she keeps it loose in the other hand. The arrow itself looks like it could be used as some manner of short blade.
Hello there.
Welcome,
Yes, hello.
loyal, proud knights, to the beautiful city of Avalon. I am the one who guards the entrance to this place. You may call me Ariel. And might I have the honor of your names? At which point she will politely bow.
Is she a fae?
No.
Okay, we can give our names.
Yeah.
Tristan.
I'm Sir Ariel.
Sir Faunra.
Lady,
Diana.
Lady Halua.
Stop.
She pauses at Bob. Would that be a... Are you of noble knightitude, or their squire, curious one?
Oh, in the whole title.
Yes.
Sir Bob, Arc Druid of the Executioner's Row.
Ah, and an Arc Druid. Welcome to our establishment, Sir Bob. Indeed, Cassie and Jesse. Again, will introduce themselves. Tiara will introduce herself as Squire Tiara. That will, of course, also bring their tokens in.
Suppose I should have actually used my title, but whatever, it's fine.
It's fine.
Hallie
You
Hallie
introduced
doesn't
yourself. You introduced yourself as Lady Hallie, and you're wearing like full knight armor with symbol beholden. That's fine.
I didn't feel like going through my whole
Right.
title, but Tajana probably would have.
Yeah.
Indeed, the majority of you actually look like, fucking knights with armor and
Yeah, you look
emblems
like
and
someone
sigils.
brought an art installation to life and gave it a burlap sack to wear covered in eyes.
Excuse you, I am wearing the
Excuse.
fine elven robe we've got in the goddamn dungeon before.
Yeah, and then
Covered
there's
in
still all the eye.
Yes, but it's not the burlap sack. Thank you
You're
very
right. Sorry, the
much.
burlap sack hides underneath it.
Might we enter the city, Miss Ariel? Alariel? Sorry.
Indeed, welcome. I believe you have companions who've
Yes.
been waiting for you,
Oh,
and
good.
many more who've been waiting for an open door. I shall let them know that the way is no longer shut.
Excellent.
Come.
All right.
Oh
I
no,
will walk up
poor
behind her and follow her.
El
And
Franco.
he
How long
came
has
with
he been
Bell,
stuck in
remember?
here?
Yeah, he's
Did
part of
he?
Team
Oh, I
Bell.
guess
Yes.
he did, yeah.
Yeah, Il Franco, Miranda, Belle, Andrea, Red Eye, and Creel.
I forget who Creel is.
She is
The
one of the
Harpy
older
sister.
of the, admittedly still young half of the Dragon Harpy sisters.
It's the
Oh, this
She
might
wanted to
it's
be
the
an
Lala
adventurer.
Why does
If
this
you
it's the
don't-
Lala
He's from
fellow
Dark
with
Souls
the cat ears.
If you don't mind me asking, Alariel, how long has this place been down here?
I do mind you asking, I'm afraid, noble knight. The tale is not mine to tell, but the one that we have dictated as our elder. Good, look at your token spinning off. I haven't even taken you through the fucking door yet. Fuck all of
Okay.
you.
Well, I thought you wanted us
No,
up there.
no.
No,
Okay, I'll put myself
no,
back
I
down.
didn't. You all just
There you
started
go.
moving yourselves.
I thought
back down.
Yeah.
I actually thought you moved Tristan and everyone up here, so I
Nope.
was just following you.
Nope, they all sprinted.
Okay.
Okay, never
That would
mind.
be Savin.
Yep.
Do
I blame Savin.
you
Patient.
know how long we have until the door closes again?
You have
How
a
long
day.
does a day work? Because we're told time's
Is
a
it
little
a-
different down here.
No, time functions as it always has. It's untouched by the outside world, of course, but it functions as normal. A day
So a
is
day
a
in
day.
here, a day outside.
Indeed, that should be the passage of the sun above you. And she indeed gestures to the sunset above.
Okay.
Well, it just looks at gets the fucking clock out. Like, well, time's ticking then.
Yes, I suppose so. Although perhaps some of the knights that will soon be leaving will guard the way for you.
I'm not exactly worried about it needing guarded, but I would like to leave as soon as we can. No offense.
None taken, but it would be such a terrible shame. We are collectors of story, lore, and intrigue, and we have the world's greatest magical mysteries for noble knights. All
We
of
do
them
have
at our
some time
fingertips,
to
some that you've
explore
never
them.
heard of. We found that it's quite a tempting tale.
Yes. We do have some time to explore and find out. Not a lot, but some.
If this were the fucking 70 party, Tarnovac would have been like, alright, I'm staying here forever, sorry.
Yep.
Every mystery in the world, you said. Alright, say no more.
And they'd
Yep.
be like, no, Todd.
Have to put him in the harness.
Swap with the partner.
Yeah, toddler leash.
But unlimited knowledge.
Unlimited knowledge. I
Can't
think
do
of
any
all the
good
good I could
stuck
do.
down here. Long.
See, that's exactly how that conversation would go.
We have unlimited knowledge at home.
But the mysteries of what kind, or rather, I suppose it would be all kinds, wouldn't it?
You are correct, yes. And she will walk you through a town. There are, as you might expect, like more buildings than just the four that I have labeled up there. They are dominated by a massive temple-looking structure, but there are small huts, houses, towers, inns, all sorts. This is a town that could comfortably hold 200, 300 people. For the most part, you catch the occasional glimpse of these moon-symboled, tall, lithe, blue-fleshed men and women. They smile politely, and again, there are some odd glares at the bunnies.
If you don't mind my asking, miss, what exactly are you? I've never seen someone such as you before.
Let's see
you
here.
an elf of a kind?
Of a kind, sure, that might be a way to put it, but you are also wholly incorrect. You have been further away from correct. We do look elfin, though, I admit. Most of us do, at least. And yeah, by now you notice the bunny glaring.
Hmm.
To you all, we might well as be as gods.
I must ask, what is it with some of the glares that me and Sir Faunra are getting?
We have been warned that you are not what you appear to be, but none should trust those of the Earth Children.
She'll squint.
What is an Earth Children?
What? That. What does that mean?
A tall ear is an Earth Child. A burgeoning race gearing up to make itself the sole member of a land's inhabitants. Not to be trusted, powerful and ageless, yet rampant in recreational
I'm
coupling.
not a tall ear, as you say it. I'm a werehare.
Yes, we have been warned ahead of time upon our meetings with other knights. It is why I did not open fire first on the Earthchild. Still, it is hard to break such impressions.
I see. Out of character. Instantly, this place has become the worst town ever.
This
And I
place
hate
rocks.
bunnies.
They do not appear to object to anyone else of any kind of extant race. There are a few looks in Jesse's direction. They sniff and then will nod idly.
Jesse, seems like you've got some friends.
Smelled the holy on her.
Oh no, it's just a new experience, so one must be catalogued, so to speak. I apologize if some of us seem to struggle more in conversation as you attempt to make it, my brothers and sisters. Not all of us are quite so capable. Miranda should have a new token. Where is it?
Should be a relatively recent post in deserts.
Alright. I'll get around. But right now I can't be asked.
Owned.
Wow.
I'll do it later.
Are these tall ears such a problem from where you originally came from?
10 years.
Yes.
You know, those.
They
That's
will
not-
be the end of that world, but that is a shame.
What have I done?
Savin, what have you done?
How's this my fault?
Same thing he's always done.
What'd I do?
He created a Talir.
It's not my fault these people are bun racist.
I know, right? How dare they? Awful.
Right.
Yes, let's see here. She will flag down another one of these moon-symboled folk. They were so offended that they left.
Damn.
Hedrah, no!
Hedrah.
Hedrah
Oh.
DC'd. So offended by this bun racism that she just had to leave. But yes, this time another one of these blue individuals runs up. They appear to be like 15, 16, still quite young. They are wearing a quite nice dress, although this one has been made to facilitate running around. Alariel will lean down and whisper. They will nod and scamper off again. Rooms will be prepared for you. our earliest convenience. And the knights will be heading over here shortly. So, before we enter further into the city, please, if you have any questions, I would be excited to answer them.
Have you seen a really, really tall manticore, very pink?
Yes.
I'll just be headed that way now.
Are you quite sure already?
They're married.
Ah, of course. Couples. Very well. Down the street, take a left. Large tavern.
Hallie takes off.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. Hallie! Rushing
Huh?
ahead, you see that this place has a number of knights who will look up even as a message is being delivered to them by the runner, who will glance up in surprise as you sprint by.
Bye-bye.
They pause, confused, as you dash into the tavern, and you are faced with another structure. Just gonna grab you and drag you.
Ugh. That's neat. There's a very angry elf. My god.
She's a little bit angry looking, yeah. But please, they're not elves, don't be racist.
Is
Me too.
okay. Is she angry, or was that food in front of her laced with Carolina Reaper?
She appears to have her very same moon symbol, but hers is blood red, and it appears to be constantly weeping blood. She just occasionally dabs it away with a handkerchief.
Brutal.
How incredibly edgy.
Yep. Of course, the moment you burst in, Miranda will leap to her feet, dash over, and scoop you up into a big old squeezely hug, even though you're in that heavy armor.
Plank.
Clank. Ah, how wonderful! Il Franco has missed fresh, beautiful women. It has been so very long.
Wait, how long you guys been here?
A couple of weeks, but that is like a drought in the deepest of deserts. Most of these women you see, Il Franco is sad to say, do not fuck.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hmm. Wait, who was the one that Ilfrica got with last time?
God, I can't even remember.
Wasn't it Tachi?
Probably, yeah. Tattoo's a plush lass.
Winter?
Oh yeah.
Hallie's going to hook up thumb over her shoulder. Tachi's on her way here.
Ah,
wanna-
most wonderful. Il Franco will look forward to plowing those lush little fields. Like Mother Earth's very own crevices. At which point a large paladin woman dressed in dragon armor will stand up. I've heard just about enough of this. You say that you've come back? Ah! Lady Halua.
Hi! Door's open.
Yes, of course. A pleasure to meet you all, and I suppose is your friend Tristan here.
Yeah, he should be grumping along the bridge right now.
Very well. And she's going to head out. Shall slide back over to the Avalon map.
Hallie wanted to show some stuff off? Well, we can do that later.
Yeah. Try and do it. Don't want to do it all at once. For
Oh,
you.
cool. More importantly, as soon as she runs in, one of her eyes is still the same hue that Miranda's fluff is.
Yeah.
Got turned into that by fairies.
Mm-hmm. Paladin Karis. She is close to a lieutenant, Tristan, and you recognize her storming across the bridge. She's a hard ass as far as task mastering is concerned.
He's come to slap
Typical.
you.
Lady Karis, pleasure to see you unexpectedly.
a boon to see all of you as well. See that you've found many more companions since. A pleasure to meet all of you. I am Paladin Karis, of the 1st Insertion Force, and no, I've heard every joke by now, don't make them.
Just will just visibly press his lips together.
Nice. Yep. Guardian Alariel will nod ahead to her. You arrived earlier than expected. I didn't get to plumb them for knowledge. Yes, did you mention that the door closes behind them if they're down here for a day?
No, we knew that already.
Eager to be
aware.
gone as quick as we can.
Well, that's good for you then. Tell me, was
Yes.
there an old ghost up there?
Not angry.
Angry
He's
fellow.
pretty serene.
Yes, there was an old ghost up there.
Oh. Well, okay then. Because that solves that. There was no one to warn us of this 24-hour warning before, because we had to kill that ghost. Glad it's back and less insane and doing its job
Yes,
properly. The Guardian will frown. That's not our fault exactly, Paladin Karis. That is the whims and effects of being out of this place and in the changing world. Karis rolls her eyes. Sorry, I've had just about enough as I can bear of these moon people. I'll be getting my soldiers together
Good.
soon.
Good. Speaking of moon
Alright.
people, what
Very
are
good.
your folk called, Guardian?
About time somebody asked. I am an Asyrran.
Asyrrans. I'd roll for Tristy, but I don't think there's any chance he's ever fucking heard of them.
No, literally no, none of you
Can't
have
say I've heard of your folk before.
Can I still make one anyway?
No, I'm glad that you haven't. For the most part, that means that we are quite intact to continue our works, as they were in secret. Suppose that's going to change now with so many large groups filtering in and out.
Your
Used to be,
works.
but, 1 or 2 mortal visitors at a time.
What, do you catalog the entire world or something?
No, that would be much too busy. But you've definitely met an assistant of ours who does much the same. Our construct, the water
The Lady of
nymph-looking
Chivalry?
individual.
You
Yes,
created
the spirit of
her?
chivalry.
Yes, you'll notice when one of you at least must have accepted the
Yes.
tablet from her. She is a contextual construct used to perform what is functionally the legend lore spell on a person
Ah,
for the sake of consistency, sanity, and to ensure that we ourselves do not go leaning in any ill directions. These legend laws of knights come and gone are contextualized in the story format. Gallant knights doing gallant things. This is what we based ourselves upon for our own
I
safety.
see. Fascinating.
Isn't it just? She will smile faintly.
In the back of Tristan's mind, he's like, well, I'm glad this contextual construct managed to diddle my mother. Thank you. That only makes it worse.
At least he isn't made of snow.
Right. Can we go see our friends then?
Yes, of course. I believe that, well, said half of them are in the tavern. The others are in the temple, which I would like to introduce you to. As well, the captain, I believe, of your unit. Or one of your units.
Good. Let's,
No, not hearing you,
Alright.
Hedrah. I heard a beep boop at first, but you've been quiet since. Nope, couldn't hear you.
He didn't even light up green.
Yes, it's the Captain Callum. I confess he was in very poor shape when he was brought down here. And Karis will frown at that. Ugh, yeah, he got bitten nearly in half. He'll never walk again, not under his own power.
Oh, that is a shame. A tragedy.
It is, as well. Appears the creature's necrotic teeth stopped that wound from healing. It's still out there, I assume.
We haven't fought anything that stops wounds from healing, no.
Well, in my warnings, if you meet it before us, because we intend to quite
Good.
destroy it. Well, we'll catch back up with you soon. We'll need an idea of the lay of the land before we
Sure.
push back out.
There's a dragon
course.
stronghold just a little bit north in the mountains from here. We just cleared out. Everyone else is meeting there.
Sure,
Tell them
prepare our
about the
unit and
plan.
action map, Sir Tristan, and we shall pick it up later. She seems quite content to order you around before she leaves to get her men in line. And yeah, she will. She walks off and goes to do a big heck and collect. Ariel will then introduce you guys to the Temple Unforgotten. As we go to do that, Hallie!
Wah!
Moo! Moo! You have been sat down with Miranda by a fire in a great big comfy place. Ooh, sorry, let me grab your tokens properly before I pull you over. Don't have you guys here.
I like that dragon art.
A dragon.
Yeah. Dragons.
Dragon.
Dragon, baby.
Dragon! I saw a dragon!
Hallie, you are in the tavern, and there are a large number of people. Many of them come over, like, clearly eager to ask questions, but they are waved off by Miranda. They're like this all the time. They literally never tire of asking things.
Huh?
They never ask the same question, though, which I found to be kind of a surprise.
Oh, like our kids.
No, they'll happily ask the same question over and over and over again. She
Mm.
smirks. Oh, I miss them.
Oh, they're fine. They're,
Well, glad to hear that.
yeah, I just met with them and my family. Wasn't able to do the Harvest Festival again. But, oh yeah, I started first of like your 4 gifts. So I
4
don't really,
gifts?
I don't really spend money. And it turns out I had a lot of it. So I'm building a tower. I paid for a tower to be built.
That's quite a gift. I was going to say that the only gift I need is my little pet Hallie. And she will
Well,
jingle your bell.
you get that and a tower.
All right, I'll take that. She jingles your bell again just for the sake of it.
I mean, it is a pretty remarkable bell.
She's also part cat. She literally just can't resist. It makes a noise when she paws it.
He
Hedrah
Yeah,
research.
she's
It turns out that
she's
3
reading.
gigabyte of Discord was the only thing keeping her voice online. The sharks are chewing the cables again.
Yep. Oh yeah, it'll jingle for other reasons soon enough. But she'll have to be careful this time to, wrap it up when she plays soon and get pregnant on the go again.
And also this. And I know that what was the weapon that Hallie repaired for her? It's a Wayland weapon. It wasn't Wayland's beard. I've been looking around for it and I can't find it.
Magical trident.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. On the magic item list.
That's the fun thing. It might not even be there.
Might not be.
Okay.
Some things, if they don't get used, are more like throwaway items, and then sometimes they get picked up on anyway. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, it's in your inventory, or it should be.
Okay. Well, Hallie is going to give Miranda the Wayland Dragon.
Ooh, now that's a pretty toy. It's a trident that can be used as a caster implement for clerics.
And also Paladins.
And for paladins, yes. She will give the trident a little turn around and a spin, and a big ol' heckin' paws. It can be easily handled in one hand. Very nice. Thank you, dear. She'll give you a smoosh.
Giant pops.
Big, handsome paws.
But the problem is the other two gifts aren't ones that I can give you in public.
Well, I have a thinking that one of them's going to be gift A and one of them's going to be gift triple G. How about it? I've got a room. She will scoop up the moo. Welcome back. I can hear the beep boop. She will again wave away more Asyrrans who look like they want to ask questions. They will pout and return to their chairs. Il Franco will wave them in for a tail.
Listen, we have a couple of people that love to tell stories that are coming in. So this is a perfect opportunity for two members of a certain order to score in some points.
Yep. And then yeah, Hallie's going to make an awful lot more jingle noises.
And Hallie is going to show off the uh, chalky door knockers and the heart-shaped magic tat.
She thinks that they are awesome and is going to indulge deeply.
The only thing better than milk is fresh chalky milk.
This is true.
You're
Alright.
gonna really get your jingle bells.
Correct.
That cursed season is upon us soon.
Man,
Yeah,
we already started printing Christmas shirts, man. I'm
Yeah,
not happy about it.
my grocery store
It-
already has a Christmas section in its shopping
it's
list.
fucking
Stupid.
September. It's not even
Yeah.
Halloween yet.
Yep. It's
Listen,
disgusting.
I'm not in charge of procurement. I'm in charge of making sure that at least 7,000 units go out in a day.
Does it
Okay.
do?
So,
So?
okay, no, you were saying does it do?
Oh, that was just a joke I was making. Does it do was the
Okay.
whole question.
So
Ah,
the temple.
Okay.
Indeed.
No, I've been trying to talk or
Of
ask
course, yes,
questions
go ahead.
since the fucking gate there.
You want
Um,
to timey-wimey then?
I mean, you're just walking towards this temple anyway. She will answer all your questions as you go.
I did ask her something a little bit earlier for that.
Oh, you typed it. Let's see here. What all is here aside from magical mysteries? That's a challenging question. I suppose the answer is mostly magical mysteries, lore of other realms, the war of gods, that kind of thing.
I had meant building wise, but that is interesting.
Oh, just literal buildings, mostly
Yes, like
housing, experimentation labs. We have a functioning artificer and magic and blacksmith.
uh, right. So your conceptual construct
Yes.
with the whole stars and shit. What's with the whole handing out swords?
Well, just a gift for services rented.
Okay.
No
Well,
one will ever
that's
come if there's nothing for them, which is a shame, but that's the reality of things. Knights need things to quest for. Just common knowledge.
speaking on that chivalry spirit, I have questions about something that she told me later on, but not important right now.
Very well.
So, what level, like, sort of like, uh, the whole noticing the whole glaring about the whole was tall hairs and stuff like the way you speak of it, it sounds almost like it was told to you a long time ago and has been stuck there since.
She quirks a brow. I've mentioned that we've been here for a very long time, and not told to us, but witnessed. The beginning of the end, such that it is. That is in a realm not attached to this one, though, so you have nothing to fear from them.
Right. Good just
I'm
looks
not
at
going to
Faunra.
wait. I'm still
No,
walking.
like,
You're still
Yeah, I know. I know that
like,
you're doing. I know that you're doing the wait thing, but she then just immediately
Well-
responds, "I'm not waiting. No."
just looks at Ariel, Faunra, looks at her. Oh,
What?
Bob, no.
no, no, I guess something clicked in my head, so no, but that I got my answer.
Ariel,
finally.
no.
No, what? What clicked in your head? I want to know now.
No, bad one. No carrots for you.
Can I have her carrots?
You can have her
Tristan will
carrots
take a
because you've
carrot
been a
out of his
good girl.
pack,
Yes.
give it to Faunra.
Okay, no, seriously.
Pass will
no.
pause. Hey, wait,
I got
that
a
one's
different
my
carrot
one.
for you later.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here, pinch.
So what? I can't ask questions of
No, we're saying
what you
shut the
think
fuck
of
up,
now?
Ariel.
So, what level is your Artificer on?
Have you noticed the gigantic underwater city and the fact that we turned legend lore into a person, my dear?
Have you noticed that I'm a living construct?
Yes, it's very, very pretty construct, but it's ample child's play, yes.
Oh, oh, that was a pretty goddamn nice insult. Holy shit.
I'm sorry, again, it's not complicated. You're obviously an extant consciousness or soul attached to something that has been created using, looks like divine materials for the most part. Stop me if
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
wrong, we understand the implicitness of it. For us, that's not difficult, and I apologize if you feel insulted by this. But
Oh,
I'm
no,
trying to
not
answer
to
your
me.
question fairly.
No, not to me, not to me. This was apparently. Oh, out of character. I fucking forgot. I want to say.
Ronnie?
Yeah, I wanted to say like the sex
I
doll
mean,
because I
that's
couldn't
what half the
fucking
party
remember
wants
her
to use
name.
her for, but
But that's the wrong name.
I mean, she never said it was hard
the
to doing what she
eternal
did.
consort.
Yeah.
Yes,
Patron of the Undying, or Mother of the Warforged.
yes. I'm just I say that and then I feel like goddess there that made us. So I was a little bit like, oh, you're above that. That's actually quite interesting.
Oh, yes, I'm not surprised. That one, I suppose, is a secret. I'm sorry if I can't be altogether honest about that one. Yes, we know who you speak. It's very nice to hear that she's doing
she
well.
related to you somehow? Crystal kind of gestured toward the moon symbology. I see.
Somehow.
Wow.
She looks a
Would
little
you-
bit bothered when you point out the moon symbology, and she'll brush at it with
Something
her
the
hand
matter?
and frown.
Something the matter.
Um, yes, I suppose it should be said we're not best fond of this. And she gestures at the little moon.
However, why?
That one again is a secret, sort of. It would be
something
uncomfortable
we
and
can do to
improper to
help.
tell. Almost certainly not. But I appreciate your thought, Honourable Knight.
Well, If there's something we can do for all of you, don't hesitate to ask. It is the point of knights, after all.
Indeed, I expect what we must request of you is patience, because a great many of us will ask a great many questions before all is said and done, especially if we know you intend to leave before the day is finished.
Yeah.
We definitely
Although-
intend to leave before the day is over.
Well, if you could give me
A shame.
direction to one of your artificers who are either specializes in or knowledgeable in constructs, I would like to see if it's possible to get an upgrade.
It should be certainly possible, yes. You and your friend, who appears to be belimbed similarly. I recognize the make as well. Interesting experiment. Didn't work out quite how we expected, and a bit
You
of a
mean the
shame.
sex dolls?
Yes, those.
I see.
We tried to make them work. They didn't. It's a shame.
Dare I ask why you were trying to make a bunch of war sex dolls? Other than the obvious reasons.
As
Procreation.
Correct, yes. As unfortunate a statement as it is, we're all quite incapable of production. Still, we're continuing to work on it. Maybe we'll crack it in a few thousand years more. Well,
You have my condolences.
thank you.
Yeah, that's
I understand family and childhood breeding very important to ones of your faith.
It is, yes.
that was something I had to give up now.
My sympathies to you as well.
Yeah,
Can we
Bob,
interest you
adopt a
in a
construct.
They'll need filling, but we have a number of empties and an idea of where you might find such a one. We've been out of contact with them for a while. But to powerful, chivalrous knights such as yourself, I'm sure it would pose no trouble.
I'm sorry, what?
They're saying that they
No need to
have.
apologize.
They're saying that they have a construct that you could take with you and find something to fill it with.
Correct,
Ah.
yes. Our attempts at soul experimentation, they have been difficult. We are forever impressed with our mother for being able to get so far as she did. And some semblance of irritation with the Earthchild for succeeding
I
so readily.
Take it your mother would be the
Albeit accidentally.
gigantic dragon in that cathedral there.
She sighs. Yes, you are correct. Now, please, enter the temple. And she will fully open forward the doors. And yeah, you're treated to this wonderful sight of a long, shining corridor of black stone, deep rugs of neverwhere, large selection of urns with writing on them that appears to be celestial and draconic in nature. And at the end of 3 great big portals full of moonlight and fractures is a gigantic dragon statue, just immense size, filling up that half of the room nearly completely, from which perches a little dragon harpy who has been sat like just on a shoulder reading a book. And nearby, sat on a bench, similarly just fiddling around with some books, are Isabel, Red Eye, and a mysterious little blue dragon. Andrea is nearby as well. She appears to be talking to someone in more formal priestess garb.
What?
Trist!
Which one?
Ooh, she pounces.
Yeah. Tristan's gonna
Oh.
scoop her up and just kiss on the lips, Bucket. Been anxietying over for quite a while.
Oh. You get your bottom lip bit. Behaving you. But also hello.
I've been
She's
worried
blushing
sick
and grinning.
looking for you. So glad you're alright.
Oh, you don't need to worry about us. We're all big and strong and smart and stuff. We'd have figured out a way out of here eventually. Although, yeah, glad you made it. Gives you a big old
I
hug.
know.
Meh. Oh. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're not dead.
Back at you. Red Eye, Andrea, Niece, Large Dragon.
Creel will flap down
Hey,
from
you.
where she is. Hi, Tristy!
Give her.
Andrea will pause in their conversation. And wander on over. You're alive. Congratulations. It's good to see that you're all doing well.
Yeah, everyone's all right.
Is
Yes.
Dad on the
Yeah,
island?
sure. Pop's on the island. He'll look at Andrea and Belle when he says that. A whole bunch of knights. It's a full-on assault now.
Wow, they must have been
Yeah,
really worried.
that and the massive invasions going on.
That doesn't sound very good. We probably need to catch up on that if we're going to help.
Yeah,
Which we're going to do.
we retook the castle just a little outside of here. We'll bring you there and catch up with your pops.
Excellent. Oh, hi, guys.
Lady Isabel.
Yes, hello.
Pleasure to see you all again. Thank you for keeping an eye on Tristan and making sure he doesn't, tumble into an explosion.
Oh, man.
I mean, he has quite literally done that recently,
Did
actually.
start with big gas fires on a mountaintop, and I got to ride a beholder. That was pretty awesome.
That does sound awesome. Red Eye will clap you on the shoulder. I hope that you've left
Oh
plenty
yeah,
for us to
there's
kill.
still the enemy warlord on the south of the island and whole legions of dark friends.
You'll have to get past us first for killing the Dark Ones. We're on our way to do that ourselves.
I actually
Our
might be
race,
racing
then. I
against the
see how
last
it
of the
is.
giants we unleashed on them. The princess of the giants who used to live here found her turned to stone and pointed her at Velt's commander and said, "Go get him."
Huh.
After you denied
I
her
don't want to kill her.
She scowls. I'm sure you had your reasons, but it's a bit of a shame.
No.
Were you afraid to duel her?
I was not, no.
Oh, Chuck's a little bit confused at the concept of saying no, but
Oh, you know how Tristan is when it comes to tragic ladies.
yeah,
The
no. Belle's
crippling
much the
weakness
same.
of his.
Belle is much the same way, I've noticed. Belle will huff. Not just ladies. Yes, okay, yes. You're also addicted to other tragedies. For instance, meet Balakor. The blue dragon will sinuously snake his head over Isabel and take a good look at you,
So you
Trist.
found an extra
Sniff him a few
dragon?
times.
Hello,
Greetings.
Sir Balakor. I'm Tristan.
Oh, no, sir, I'm no knight. But you may call me, I suppose, whatever you will.
How about friend? I'll extend a hand.
Gosh, you do extend friendship quickly. Are all knights like this? I was led to believe that would not be how most
Yeah,
meetings with
well,
them
my
went.
sister's married to a gigantic gold
How-
dragon, so, you know.
How were you
That
expecting
would.
most meetings with knights to go?
I would expect them to go with bloodshed, personally. What with me being, deadly, chromatic beast, rainer from the skies, eater of villages and farms, etc. I've done that for a while, admittedly, but reputations do stick.
Well, if you're not doing that now, that's what matters.
So I have been led to believe.
So is this guy leaving me hanging with the hand out?
Oh, he'll bring his tail around to give you a handshake because his claw is just a massive fucking claw and he doesn't want to crush your hand.
Mm. I see.
I see you are in contest with this harem she is
Contest?
assembling.
Nah.
Ah, your confidence does you well. At which point Red Eye will huff. Bell will blush. Shut up.
Shut up.
Oh, what?
They died. Rip.
Huh?
You said whoop and then went quiet.
No, it's the meme. She said shut up and it's no, okay, never mind.
No, I missed. I don't know what that is.
Right then. What is going on with the portals up there? They're dreadfully curious here for me, and no one said a word about them yet.
The priestess who stood before the statue will speak up. I had been hoping to introduce myself to all of you, but you have, companions that you must reacquaint with.
We
I'll
all walked
answer.
right past her.
Yeah,
I have not yet.
I'm only a little bit insulted at the gigantic statue of my mother, and these ominous glowing portals didn't really drag your eye a lot sooner.
Oh
But
no, they did
please
drag
do
my eye.
continue.
No, they have dragged my eye. I was
Sorry,
just
we
waiting for a moment to actually get
had
a
some
word
friends
in.
here we needed to catch up with.
Miss. So
Yes,
who are you,
I
miss?
know. If you're quite done contesting for mateship of the Lady Isabel, I will happily explain all.
Please do.
Isabel will continue to blush and mutter something along the lines of "Shut the fuck up, you stupid blue bitch."
Bob is just reading her lips, what she's saying.
And she does her head tip down, presumably so that her lips aren't red. Tristan, Red Eye will huff and boob hat Isabel. Which is a power move.
I mean,
that
not in
don't
public,
think
I
you can
can't.
match up with, but it's a power move for sure.
Yeah,
Dong
dong face
hat,
mask.
the next level.
No,
These are
D's
not my
nuts.
glasses.
So, your name, Miss Priestess?
You may call me Dana. I am the one who has been given the position of matron of all here. Although I, am but a mere shadow of our true matron. Long may she rest.
That to make you the elder that the guardian Ariel was talking about?
Not an elder per se, but I suppose, yes, I'm one of her most loyal.
I see. Very well then.
I'm sorry, we're a bit of a complicated situation. Many of us were incarnated at the same time. And there is no aging, no further incarnation. We are quite as we are.
I see. I see. Very well then, Priestess Dana. So we know that the statue behind you is your mother, as you've told us, but what is with the ominous glowing portals up there?
These portals should be different. Each one is an entrance. Some you may be familiar with, others not. Elysia, Iona, and the Great Elemental Chaos. She gestures at each of them. Each has a pool of moonlight covered in fractures and swirls, draconic burning shapes. Unfortunately, none of us are able to pass it. We have tried and failed a great many times. We are an unknown and missing variable. None know to reach out to us, and we know not how to reach out to them. And so we've been here waiting for a long time, learning. It took a long time alone to realize that we needed to learn and grow, as it were, mentally, if not literally, as we are unable
Can
to.
I pose a possibly obvious, stupid
Right.
solution? So if you can't pass
Go
through
right ahead.
portals, but other people can, have you considered sending a messenger through?
None have survived.
All right, but what if one did? I mean, it doesn't have to be these particular portals, right? Because we know of other portals that are survivable. We've been to the Feywild, and that's presumably just a jaunt from wherever you're from.
Feywild's a jaunt from everywhere, but I believe those doorways are locked very tightly.
That's cough. Unless
No,
you
they're easy to enter from here.
It's a door to your
obviously.
homeworld that's locked tight, right? Hmm.
Correct. They're like two sides of a mirror. You can't look at both reflections at once.
Can you tap on it?
do things that go through get destroyed?
It is hard to say. We've never had one return.
I
It
think
is
you've
an
already done the
unknown.
whole.
Yes, we've done all the experimentation we can, but since we are unable to get back any returning signal or returning wanderer, we have no way of knowing. For all we know, these doors don't really work, and never intended to work, but a
So,
cruel prank.
what's the name of your world? And your mother, for that matter?
The world is Iona, and this, our glorious mother, is Senatrea, goddess of goddesses, our creator. She says so with softness and
Just gonna
sorrow.
throw this one out there. Does your world have a Morrigan who's obsessed with someone called Verona? Bird Lady?
I suppose a question to Savin themselves. When the fracture happened, do you think that
That's
she
a
would have been
good
around?
question. Well, probably.
I think that she probably wasn't born yet. Yeah. Dana will shake her head. No, I
We
am
found some other
unfamiliar.
planar travelers from a world who were very afraid of somebody clamping down on them for leaving. Could
But we
be.
found
I don't know.
Ionans
They wouldn't
here.
tell us the name of their world.
Would they
Very
happen
possible.
to have been? Would you happen to have something called? What was it, Tolier? On
Yeah.
Iona?
Yes, they do have Talia. They've mentioned this before, how they don't like the Earthchild Talia.
Yeah, no. They're just. I'm talking to her.
Yes, your friend has the right of it. They are an ancient enemy crafted by one responsible in part for the death of our mother. Their fecundity and virility are known to be an issue coupled with their chosen immortality that will one day drive Iona to its ruin if they've not been wiped out in some kind of war. Which,
Wait.
if there are people coming
No,
from
we did
Iona,
find
maybe they
someone
have,
from
which would
Iona.
be good.
That cat boy with his harem of Talir wives and the Feywild.
And there was that other one too.
I mean, they wouldn't
Yeah.
tell
That
us. We don't
other
know for sure
boat
they're
with
from
the.
Iona, but we do know.
I mean,
Yeah, I assume too. But
have
we
to
know for
say,
sure then the cat boy was because he had Talir with him.
She narrows her eyes. Living Talir in a harem with a cat boy, sorry? I don't know of a cat boy
Yes.
either. Are you sure you're quite correct? This is Iona.
Unless Talir are from somewhere else. No,
They're
they
not just
definitely
some
said they
other
were
bunny
Talirs.
thing like all of you. It conflicts with what we
Well,
know of
how long
them,
have you been away?
unfortunately. But what we know of them,
Well, maybe
a
that's
few
why.
thousand years. Well, mysterious changes. There are holes in the wall. We have considered the possibility, but at the same time, feared the reality of trying to make such a travel, especially on what would be known as the Elysian side. Our presence would probably destabilize that plane nearly completely, if not literally completely. The damage would be catastrophic.
Yeah, from what I know about that place, you probably shouldn't go there. But the kid and his bunnies were in the Feywild. So maybe use that as your bridge point back home?
It's a possibility. Are there I suppose you would not know if there are powerful
Well, I
enough
know how to
druids there.
get to the Feywild. So if you want to come to the surface when we're done cleaning this island of horrible monsters, we could take you there, I guess.
We cannot leave the surface yet. We're too busy.
With what?
I hate to keep secrets from you when we are trying at best to facilitate. Instead, I suppose I should tell you another tale that might answer your question, if not indirectly, then literally. We have made many attempts at solutions to our current problem. Our inability to age or bear child. The fact that we have a very limited allowance of our own existence, we have had to individually, how would you say it, construct souls for ourselves. That is not putting it exactly, but the reality is too complicated to put into appropriate words. Needless to say, those experiments resulted in us attempting, how would one put it, like an oversoul, something to support a large number of us, something to bear the burden of our existence. We created the seedling plant for such a place, would have been 400 years ago, I think, but it has not been tended to regularly. We had been receiving communications from one of our own, but those stopped some 200 years ago. Until we have the solution to this matter, we can't leave this place. We would be giving up that experiment and potentially unknown, untold numbers of our lives doing so.
When you say seedling, do you mean that in the literal sense?
Of seeds, I mean metaphorical seeds.
I was worried for a second that you all had been the ones that created the tree rasks there for a moment.
No, that's just a... Well, it's a tree now.
Yeah.
That's nice. It used to be a big lizard.
Alright, so if someone were to say, find this metaphorical seedling and tend to it and tell you about it, then could you leave?
Yes, assuming that our leaving would not self-destruct those potential lives, yes.
Could you
Yes,
tell
we
us
could.
where it is?
Perhaps we will have to have a long discussion over this matter. Such decisions in the past would have been made instantly, but
Well,
it takes a lot more time now.
Your time is unfortunately somewhat limited.
We gotta fix them all the time.
Yes, you have pretty much a day before we have to leave.
Oh, well, good then.
We can contact you at any time.
Oh,
This is
Fun.
our home. We made this place. It is a piece of security, yes, but it would be foolish if we could not, by force, contact people outside.
Do you have a way for us to know that isn't just a stone if you were to contact us and we have to come back? I'm not asking what it is, I'm asking just if you have a way to do that.
Technically, yes. The odds of us ever utilizing it, though, are infinitesimally small.
Well, if it happens that you decide you want to enlist our help, we will be available, I suppose. Hate to leave you all down here for thousands of years when there's no need for it.
Of course. I appreciate this, and it is what we've come to expect from chivalrous knights. Your companions have made similar promises as well.
Of course.
Isabel grins.
That
Yes,
just means we'll have to
fair.
work together to fulfill both of ours, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Alright then, while you begin that, do you have a place here that functions like a record hall? I'd be looking for the specific tale of someone.
The specific tale of who, please, Sir Ariel?
An ancestor of mine, Agriella.
Yes, I am familiar with an Agriella. What do you wish to know about her? Or would you rather ask someone else out of public eye? Oh, we are our library, I'm afraid.
Anything you'd be willing to tell me? We don't really know much about her. Yeah, I mean, we know some, but sorry, it's not easy to describe her, since what we do know is more ethereal about her.
Very well. I can say that she looks similar to yourself. She was a human, a wildling at a point. I believe she spent some time over the hedge, as you would say it. When she came back, she became not necessarily engaged, but made promises with a companion to remain with them. They were dating. She air quotes. She ponders for a time. Her adventures are not dissimilar to your own. Very disappointed, apparently, in a sister of hers who chose to become an assassin. Stole her sister's blade. Brought it to this place, smashed and broken after a fight. Threw it upon the water, and we threw it back. Or at the very least, our construct did. She's whimsical, but that is in our favor as well as hers. What
I
else do you
see.
wish to know of her?
Hmm. That's a tough question, actually.
I recognize that that blade is the very same one we worked upon.
Well, you have some talented swordsmiths then.
So inefficient. Well, yes. To be fair, it was a hilt with a shattered piece of blade upon it. I believe she intended to return the mended blade to her sister with an apology at some point.
I see.
Can you believe it? A blade made of metal. What a waste.
Is it a waste? Most of our blades that we have are made of metal.
That one certainly isn't, unless it has changed again in the time since we have seen it.
Only recently has it regained a form that is not metal.
It's amazing how much can change. They're just ruining good weapons by putting metal in them.
Mm,
If I might take a look.
very well. I'll let her take a look at Caliban.
Yeah, she will pluck the weapon up and flip it over in her palm. Do you
A
just have
bunch
a
of
random sword
incomplete weapons,
handle?
actually. I've got a broken mace and a broken spear. I probably have swords, sure.
Unless it's a particularly old handle, the chance of it just being a secret sunblade is unlikely. They could probably turn it into one.
I mean, that'd be dope.
Oh. Well, this has certainly seen a lot of use and love. As one can love a weapon, I suppose. And not literally. She
Yes.
turns the hilt over. And when she looks towards the blade side, you can see that she does so with like a scant side head, so that if it were to be switched on, it doesn't just like fucking penetrate her dome.
That would be bad if she just penetrates her dome with it.
She'd probably be fine. Chances are quite high she's resistant to radiant. Let's see here. It could be done better. Looks like it's been through an awful lot of battle and rebuilding a number of times. Also, when did this thing get sentience?
That would be on my part in trying to figure out more about it.
She tuts softly. Such a strange, conflicting ability to put on it. Genius, but conflicting. Who would want to give a weapon consciousness, you know? I say that from a position of complete irony.
It was during a time when I didn't really have as much knowledge as I did about it. I figured if anything could tell me about the weapon, it'd be the weapon itself.
I guess so. Well, I can scrub that back out for you unless you've grown attached to its presence. And probably tune this up.
That would be wonderful, tuning it up. I have to think about whether or not, like, I actually want to scrub Caliban's, like,
Yeah, that's kind of
sentience.
fucked
It
up.
feels kind of bad.
It's not sentience, it's not a
not
sentience
better.
though, it's a consciousness.
Oh, right.
Yes,
It can
it's
fucking
conscious
talk.
about everything. It knows pain. It knows it's alive.
This is
It
true.
knows it's alive. That's sentience.
I suppose so.
I think I'll keep the sentience. Can be a companion for my future children as well when it gets passed down.
I'm so terribly envious, but that is a perfectly good choice. How about you see to better record keeping, however? It seems families keep losing magical swords. Just a
Yeah,
habit in
pretty
Nighthold
much.
stories. I don't know why you can't hang on to your
But
weapons.
then
Get
how
a
will
chain.
future adventurers ever find them?
Well, this is true. I suppose a great number of them did start their adventures by locating magical weapons in the middle of nowhere, or given to them by extant consciousnesses built of the legend lore spell in the middle of a pond. She smirks. Very
Yeah,
well.
it's a very nice. It's a very nice sword, though. It's a sword, but I got to give it back in like a year.
Well, yes, you obviously don't need its teachings for long. You're quite established. You just need a little bit of chivalry practice.
Well, I sure as hell don't need the
It's true.
bravery
Bob is
part.
fearless.
Indeed, no matter what foul thing it be it beast, dragon, or just beast of darkness. I've always been when a comrade's been in danger, I dive straight in. I show my
That's
back
good.
to my friend and my face against the enemy, and all I do and all
You
I
don't
say
have to
is screw
persuade
'em up.
me, Sir Bob. It's the sword. It chooses, and so at some point it feels that there must be something missing.
The sword clearly feels you need to learn how to whack.
I can't presume to know everything of your life. Yes, it should also teach you how to use a sword, which is obviously quite useful knowledge.
Hmm.
Yeah, she will hold the hilt and begin to cast a spell. Don't know what her modifiers
spell?
are.
Actually, can I roll Arcana to identify the spell? I
Sure.
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
She is casting a forging spell. You've seen it done before. It's just
Neat. I will
very
take mental
complicated.
note.
You could do it. Yeah, you could probably do it too if you consumed enough Residium to kill yourself.
I
Yeah, if you just
have enough hit
cast 9th level
points to
spells or something.
survive casting a 9th level spell if I have Death Ward on me.
I actually
It's a
could,
dangerous thought.
wait. I actually could do a 9th level spell because I have over 100 hit points.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Temporary doesn't count. If you need to, it goes straight to your base hit points. But
Oh, then
8
I'm off by 2.
works. Yeah, 8 works. Because 8 is not temporary hit points, it's your actual points.
That's a big modifier, Jesus.
After a minute, she will look satisfied and turn the blade over. She's not even attuned to it, but it flicks on with a brilliant, brilliant beam. She sweeps it through the air. It leaves a little sonorous pitch-like call. And switches it back off and hands it over. Your blade.
Thank you.
Just go into magical equipment. Doodly-doodly-doo. Also, that, say, like,
Should-
it took her a minute to do, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, that will be just your first one. Thank you very much.
I mean, look, I have like the heroic thing, and I'm pretty much a fertile bunny here. If they actually
Yeah,
won the
but-
firstborn from me, they might just well get it and be like a hero of their like
Yeah,
people.
but it's the thing. You're willing to give it away. What about your goddamn wife? Does she have to do all
Robot.
this shit?
Oh,
Whoa,
very
whoa,
rare,
whoa.
Ariel. Can't understand you.
Whoa. God.
Yeah, I didn't say I was willing to give it away. You're just suggesting that out of the blue for it.
Hallie would not be willing to give her away. Hallie likes Storm. And say Hallie loves her children.
I would be surprised if she didn't.
Hallie's just a big golden ball of love.
A very polished ball of love.
Indeed. Nary a crack or a wrinkle to be seen.
Fucking chrome polished reflection there.
I'm glad we actually got to know a little bit more about Ariel there. That was really good.
Yep. She got in a fight with her sister, broke her weapon, tossed it into the lake. It got yeeted back out at her, and she was told that was not very chivalrous of her. And then she returned the now magical beam sword to her sister. And then there you go. Caliban is now +3, and its D6 goes on to other shit. And it's 2d6 to undead shape changes on top of the d6 extra it gets on top of being a +3 weapon. Ta-da!
Very cool.
Hey, it does extra dice now.
Yeah, it actually does an extra dice now. Congratulations.
Hooray!
Considering your massive strength modifier, that's
It'll really fuck up some ghosts too.
Yeah.
I approve, yes. This is very good. This is a good upgrade for your sword.
Hey, Faunra.
Come now, this is only because I worked on that one before. I would hate to see it, remain damaged. We have someone capable of smithing an Arcany in town.
I don't yet have all of the ingredients I want. I'm still missing one.
Have you checked the store?
But if I just go to the that would defeat
It's not very
the
much of a
purpose.
tale.
Indeed, it's
I
the
like
it's
this
it's
one.
the journey that counts, not just the destination.
Yes, this was
Well,
more a
it
case.
is-
But should you need a weapon and feel that your life is missing for not having it, she smiles. We have very capable smiths. We're all roughly as capable as each other. We just choose to use our time a little bit differently.
You know, that is
Huh?
a
What?
twist. You think they could do something with Tiana's little heavy shooter?
I mean, sure, probably.
Now, here's the thing. You have, like, a shit ton of magical weapons. I will let you just, like, vend in multiple weapons, like some kind of fucking gacha, and you'll get a gift
Fuck
box weapon
yeah.
that's just stronger than them.
Be our fucking B.
You want to give that a go?
Yeah,
You can
how
dump.
many
You
we
can
had to
dump
put
them all
in?
into the magical melting pot, and she'll just fucking liquid mold back out a weapon for you. It's just slightly more
let's see
powerful.
what we got in the caddy bag.
Can we
If you
get?
say-
Can we get
Yeah.
Hallie a
I
better
mean,
mace?
Literally
might.
anything. But wait, no,
Yeah,
your
you
mace
could
is actually
probably.
really
You
good.
could probably chuck them. Yeah. The
Well,
mace
I
of
don't think you
Destruction's
want to get rid of
insane.
that. You could get something else. Like, actually, we have a bunch of magic weapons right now. Holy
You
fuck!
could upgrade it.
That's to say, like, you guys have so many. If you want to vend these materials down, like, say, fucking throw in 30 weapons and get out, like, 5 really good ones, then yeah, I'm cool with that.
Melding.
Well, if it's gacha.
Hardy's intense gambling addiction.
Or do you want Hedrah to be the one to press all the buttons?
Hey,
I'm
actually,
sorry, no boats come out, but it's still pretty good.
Oh man,
More
that'd be
famous heroes.
hilarious.
Isabel grins. We have gotten a lot of sweet shit while we were here, I
Oh.
will admit.
Why don't you show me to the weaponsmithy then?
Well,
Let's see what we can make
I
happen.
do wait.
Heck yeah.
I will say this though. We haven't seen, or rather, we haven't met Isabel since this happened, and Bob has just been standing behind White Bun.
This is true. Yeah, she's just been hearing Bob speak, but hasn't actually noticed Ariel.
Oh
Bob's
yeah,
been on purpose
Belle,
hiding
before we
behind
leave,
Ariel.
actually all of you, except you never met Bob before. Ariel, could you step like 5 feet back?
Bill nods. Yes.
Okay.
Bob, what happened?
Well, I slipped while shaving.
No. Wax upside the
Terrible.
head. None of that. We saw
Oh
how
god, a
quickly that
whack
went the
upside
other
the head from
time.
Ariel would
Just
fucking
hand
send Bob
picks him.
clattering like that way. Crunch.
Oh, right.
No,
Sorry, my bad. My
fucking-
strength.
Fucking tempats him like the Hildebrand quest line.
Yeah, and the thing is, no, I just compressed I will actually transform myself with the fucking blow.
You use your one transformation of the day to become a shortlet? What a terrible choice.
I will become 5 foot, like I lose a foot of height.
None of that.
Yes,
We
well,
saw-
that's
we
a
saw how
joke made
badly
in
that
poor
went
taste.
for the other one.
All right.
Yeah, we met sort of like the goddess of constructs, the whole title, that. And it would appear that she wanted to make a warforge.
Would not
And,
take no
I mean,
for an
to be fair,
answer.
you volunteered before she even
Yeah,
said
so,
would not take no for
I-
an answer.
Yeah. It's a good thing I did. I don't think you would have been very happy like this. But whatever. Which in itself is, not too shabby, I would say. It's just, well, eh, it works and it's on existence and it's not too bad.
Well, I mean, as long as you're happy, it's a very pretty existence. They look
Oh, I
better
can,
tall.
yeah, I know. It's for comedic effects. I'll go back by tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of compression here, so less space.
Not sure space efficiency is a thing to worry about. All the Asyrrans here are really tall.
Yeah, but when you're riding around, you don't want to be like 3 people wide.
Fair.
It puts up a hand in front of us, just so the back is shown, and just make a thumb towards Ariel.
I take offense to
The
3
one-
people wide.
Well,
I'm only
above
2
and
people
below
wide.
the waistline,
Your
maybe.
ass is 3 people wide.
You're, yeah, like we should put up a hanging sign on your tail that says wide load.
I love my wide load.
Wow.
Look,
Lots of
Bob
other
never
people love
said
my
anything
wide load.
negative about it. He's just pointing out a
You
fact
could
of
get
life.
lost in that wide. Yeah, you
I
could
mean,
get
you're
lost in that
accurate.
wide load. It's pretty great. Well done.
It is one of my greatest features, yes.
Isabel nods sagely. Very
So,
cool.
yeah. But at least,
Jesse will step up at one point. I have a question. Why do people keep smelling me? Dana grunts. That's because you smell vaguely of divinity, which is nice. We find it very soothing. Okay, still weird. I apologize.
oh no, Jesse. A lot of
She's a
tall,
Sarah Nep.
muscular, a bunch of tall Assyrian muscular women would like to get closer to you, just to be near your scent and just maybe touch you, etc.
I would take the smelling and sniffing of me over the glaring any day, really.
Yes, sorry, it's very difficult to let go of very much ingrained prejudices. But you're right, it is not very good of us as hosts, chivalrous knights. Treat you based on your appearance, simply as one of them.
It's all right. I understand why.
Well, it's time for gotcha.
Yes,
I
so
wonder.
yeah.
I wonder
Oh
what
boy.
these people know so much about magic eyes. I wonder what they could tell us about this, about like an arm of light.
What could I tell you about one, sorry?
I don't know. What kind of insight can you give us on this shield I have? This thing, the shield
Yes.
of light.
We
Sure. It was
called
made
him.
by one of your wizards and smiths a long time ago. Uh, many of these weapons do seem to turn up in chivalry stories, such as, so to speak, of them. So we have a number of recollections. I could tell you everything about it by picking it up, but I assume that that's not quite what you mean.
I'm not. I don't know. Like I don't know magic. I don't know anything about magic stuff.
And that's
So I'm
fine.
not actually. I don't know.
Yes. The I don't know how to say it really. We're supposed to gather all these similar magic weapons and armor like that. We call them arms of light, as you know,
Hmm.
and to deliver them onto a person. And I'm unsure what else happens with it. Does it share something with it, or
You're thinking like once you have collected it on the Fortnite room, they activate some hidden secret in itself from power
something,
mantles.
something like that? Yes.
That, I believe, would be down to the tuner. Let's see here. By the looks of it, one can use all of them at once and surpass standard
What would
mortal limits. It entirely depends on the person who does so, though,
what
for
about
how
someone
that
who,
impacts them.
hypothetically speaking, was half dragon, half ASMR, or half Deva?
And
Dana
blood,
pauses and like an eye shift from side to side. We have
No,
no
I'm
interest in
not asking
using
about
them,
you.
no.
I'm asking about
No,
the
not
person we're collecting these
you.
for. Yep.
What an interesting mixture.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first of her kind. I'm glad to hear that she exists. It's wonderful
Yeah.
to hear, in
But
fact.
well, she
is
was
using all of
indeed
these safe
born.
for?
Hmm. If there's some dragon in her, then yes, most likely she's not going to burn out. Make her quite a
What
powerful
do you mean
vessel for a time,
vessel?
but believe there are limitations. As in, she would be host to this power for an indefinite period of time. It's a lot longer and a lot safer based on her having a draconic and divine lineage both.
But it is
But much like one puts a weapon in a scabbard, that scabbard is a vessel
okay.
for a weapon.
But you're still saying she probably shouldn't use that for long.
No, probably not. I do not know how powerful she is, but there is
Okay.
an upper limit
Thank
for
you.
certain. You're welcome. I wish this friend of yours luck once you've collected all of their pieces. I'm sure it'll be quite
I
the
hope
tale.
so.
It should be, yes.
Well, it's clearly been a tale in the
Yeah,
making thus far.
let me rephrase that. I hope it has a good ending.
Ah, yes. Well, all the best stories do. Or they're setting up for a sequel, but in your case, I will hope that no sequel is necessary.
I Now something just dawned on me.
Yes?
Hey Tristan, do you remember that that scroll I managed to pull out of, well, the
The
gambling?
dragon one? Or the polymorphic one, rather? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the any humanoid thing. Yeah,
Correct.
it wasn't from this place. It
Do you
just
just
basically,
have that, or did you give that to my mom? I can't remember.
you would
Okay.
no, I gave it to your mom to research it to see if you can
Mhm.
duplicate or make her own version of it. But since it wasn't from here, neither are these lovely Assyrians, you wouldn't happen to be the makers of a certain spell called Widogast Transformation, was it?
Hmm. I don't know a Widogast. They must be outside of our generational knowledge, at least.
Oh, I was so hoping you would just say Scout. No, it sounds like this someone just made that up on the dime.
Well, could have been from a third world or something that happened after they split from theirs.
Well,
Yes.
what did you say were the extents of this spell again?
complete racial transformation from any humanoid.
I suppose that could be done with true polymorph. It's not difficult. It's a powerful spell, but not a difficult one per
No,
se.
no, it's not polymorph. It was actual race change. No turning back. Permanent.
Okay.
And it was, what was it even? It wasn't even that super high of a powerful spell as well.
Just barely out of the normal mortal limits of ourselves, really. Or the very upper limit.
I suppose we could probably replicate such a spell. Alas, we don't have the ability to just manifest said spells into our ownership, but we're pretty good at it.
So you're saying if you happen to have if you saw a copy of it,
Why would we
say
do
a
that? It's
scroll,
much more interesting for us to just make one or cast it. I don't like to steal others' homework. I'm sure this Widogust has their reasoning. We're clearly far
okay,
more capable than them. Take it by the
Tristan.
Arcanist. I'm sure they
Well,
could
we don't
rustle
have it
something
with
up.
us, but
Alright.
you know. Oh,
I mean, take the
Literally
query.
just
We'll
Barbarian.
solve that. She smiles faintly. It is nice to see fresh faces, but I suspect you'll have a lot that you want to do before this time is done.
yeah,
Permit me a
and it's
question
ticking.
about yourselves. I suppose this is more a speak of character moment than anything that I need to learn specifically. What do you envision a world to look like without your darkness in it?
Isn't it without darkness in it, huh?
Hmm,
Very
Without
well.
the current version of darkness, or just general.
I believe that already might answer the question, but yes, the current version, so as you put it.
Very well. A world where the children no longer have to worry about their parents going out to battle, where they may simply be existent as families, and that people can once again no longer worry about monsters going bump in the night, such so that they can simply live their lives in peace.
That would certainly be very ideal.
Well, it would be less monstrous, as for sure, but people are always going to be majority. It will always have assholes, to be honest. There'll always be a form of evil or darkness or whatever you want to call it. But as corruptive and manifested as it is now, it's like, I would rather not have that. There will always be things in the dark. There will always be trickery, but then
The
it's made. But then the world is by people, by their choice, not by some external influence that will just spread like a virulent plague.
Indeed. We're used to hearing both of those kinds of answers. I'm sorry for asking it out of nowhere. It's more an idle curiosity for all of us, a chance to understand how many's brains work. And I'm glad that both concepts exist to you all. If there were only one, I feel like we would, well, as I say, run out of idealists, and that would be a terrible shame. Mother would be very disappointed.
In the end, we're all pretty much looking for a brighter future in our
Indeed.
own ways.
Our ongoing belief, with such times as we have observed and listened and learned, is that your land will always need knights. For different reasons, though, is the hope.
Can I ask you a question, actually?
Why, I'm here
Your
to be asked
world,
questions.
does it have beasts of darkness? Darkness like Velthamar? Either of those?
No. No, it does not. It has terrestrial dangers still. Conflict, war, racism, which we are, of course, not immune to ourselves, has
But
been made
no
evident.
scourge from beyond the dark. I to know that's just a
No.
curse on our world.
Indeed, I believe that that is in part why it is so difficult for us to get home. We'd be letting through such things, collapsing whole dimensions on our journey.
That is not ideal.
Though, if you're as good as you say, could you not create an, well, the anti-darkness, so to say, the light version of it?
We already have. That's humanity and mortality. Well, obviously we didn't create it, we just encourage you. That's not our place, this wasn't our world. How could we possibly do that?
Yes, but I meant not in the metaphysical sense, like the shining light of, humanity fighting against
You
darkness.
mean
I mean,
make some kind of glowing holy creature whose influence brings goodness out of
Isn't that
people?
just Tammy?
well, it would be Tammy, but yes, because if she's seen the darkness actually corrupts, like physically manifests and corrupts.
Yes. Well, you are all the good influences that do the opposite of corruption. Leaving,
Yeah,
better lives for people, encouraging them. If you all left them to die, everyone would be a creature of darkness by now, but you don't.
yeah, but that's a spiritual. I mean, actually physically, though.
And you do, actually, physically. You are the epitome of being a force of light, as you put it. You are living, feeling, and doing your best. Just as a beast of darkness physically changes someone to be something that they aren't, you endeavor to protect them from that change. You are the foil, such as it is. There's no need for a beast of light. That would probably just be getting in your way, or at worst, be an experiment that robs people of their free will, just with a means to do good, and that
Let
is the
me
wrong kind of
let
idealism.
me turn Bob's question with a less philosophical light then. Is there something you can do to someone who's been corrupted by the dark? Someone beyond human ability to change? Someone who's had their light twisted?
There is the potential for that change, but such things are dependent on the
Let's say
person.
Whether they want to change
Falling.
or
Let's say a
not, right?
farm girl that murdered someone in self-defense, but used a blade that sucked the dark out of them into her. Wasn't her fault, didn't do nothing wrong. Just defended herself.
That may not have. Indeed, that is a sad tale as well, and that may not have been her fault, but the pressure of that darkness, so to speak, those changing influences, they changed her because she could not resist them, so to speak, which speaks to a mental character that means she would be quite compromised if she were to be untwisted. We could cast Modify Memory to go with the effect, but that as well is the same as robbing a choice away from a person or making them new.
Yeah.
A new ego could do it, but just as soon as see a new life born into the world instead.
I mean, you say that's some sort of ego death, but wouldn't you have suffered that once already? So what's the harm in doing it again?
Indeed.
Put her back.
It
Because
doesn't
it
put her
wouldn't
back,
be putting
though.
her back, it would be putting her
Yeah.
to someone or
It's still
something
better than
else.
what's there now.
Being gone would be better than what's there now in this
Is
example,
it?
surely.
That robs two parents of their daughter. Community of someone who used to be part of it.
They wouldn't be getting their
Not
daughter
exactly
back,
the
Sir
same.
Tristan, would they? That loss already happened.
Not the same.
To me, that sounds quite cruel. I understand wanting to save everyone, but it can't be done. There's a reason we aren't knights. We know too much. We can do too much. And by accident, we can undo too many more things.
Fine.
No Assyrian will walk around going as a sir, for instance. It's just not in our nature. The question does come back to philosophy in that sense when you start asking what a person is. We aren't people. We can't make that decision for other people
What
either.
do you mean you aren't people?
That we aren't. There is no greater, deeper meaning to that.
You look like a people to me.
We're like... I'm glad that we do. My mother would be very proud to hear that.
What's the difference?
I'm sorry, that one's a little bit too complicated to tell the tale of. She frowns faintly. The question itself seems to depress her a little.
This conversation is rapidly darkening Tristy's mood, and he's looking more and more depressed as it goes on.
Yes.
She'll frown. Now, I apologize for putting you a little out of sorts. If you want, I could cast Modify Memory on you. She will smirk faintly.
I don't believe that would do him any good at this point.
Ah, but he seems to think it would.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Can you modify
Alright,
depression
sure.
now?
She's going to cast a spell. She'll cast a spell on you. Do
yes,
you resist?
I was not done asking the question before you cast a spell. Alright, I think it's a wisdom
Sure.
save.
Alright, give it a go.
Oh,
Is it not charisma? For Force of
Oh,
South?
never mind. You failed anyway.
Oh, yeah, you fail. Let's see here. When you asked the question that made you a little bit sour, you actually now have a recollection of her standing in front of you and saying, Tristan, this is a modified memory. You heard an answer that made you a little bit sad, and you felt bad about it, and I'm here to make the point very clear. Don't feel bad, they're only memories. Cheer up. And then Tristan. That must have happened moments ago, but you're still stood in a group and she's still all the way over there.
she just kind of blinks a couple times.
You don't feel depressed, but you now definitely know that that was a modified memory. You don't remember what bummed you out, so you aren't bummed out. You're probably just more baffled.
Look down, look at Belle. Hey, it kind of worked. I don't know what happened, but it worked.
Yes, I'm going to say we don't do as he suggested earlier with this.
That's
In my head, that's the funnest way to use modify memory is to literally tell them, by the way, this memory, totally fake. It's so real to you, but she stood there and said, nah,
Wait,
nothing
isn't
happened.
there hold on, isn't there a catch in modified memory? If they realize it's fake, they get the memory back?
It feels really real to him, though, and he failed to save.
Well, no.
No. Modified memory doesn't do that. If you cast Greater Restore on them, they will the
Okay,
original
if it's
member will return, and they will know
okay.
that they had an.
Okay, okay. Alright, fair enough. Alright then, this has been very wonderful, Priestess Dana. I think I'm going to go explore this town while I can, see if I can't learn any new alchemical recipes or see anything else of this place before I have to leave it again.
I don't suppose there are any sword masters or or something here.
Yes.
Someone I can train with, though it briefly.
Of course,
No,
yes.
Faunra, I
Yes.
had a question for you, Faunra.
Oh, yes.
Your sword has all these weird magic mutational stuff, right?
Do you mean the orb coating?
Yeah. Why don't we go to the whole weapon smithery duder and have them take a look at it? Because as you said, apparently they all know the exact same thing, they just use their time differently.
We all have the exact same talents. It takes us time to literally know everything. We got a chance to quote unquote record you when you handed over the tablet, but they won't know we just had this discussion, but they'll probably be able to infer it.
Yeah, so I just figure that your sword against the darkness, if there was ever a place to have somebody who knows their stuff poke at it, I think it'd be the place.
Well, I wish you luck. Go have a good look around. Maybe your friend will be finished with what she was up to soon.
I think she'd prefer if it
Perhaps.
wasn't very soon.
Ah, yes, they probably. Of course.
Alright.
That room
makes
will probably
sense.
need cleaning.
Luckily, we are
Time to
all
play
very
magic weapon
powerful
gotcha.
wizards.
Yes, you have the magic of. You have the
We have
magic.
we have
Prestidigitate.
prestidigitation plus.
Show me this power!
Oh, yeah. Wait, what's. I need to know this prestidigitation plus. What does it do differently?
An entire room at once.
Wow.
She will just sort of gesture to your boot prints on the carpet, like likely you were tracking a bunch of mud. She snaps her fingers, and the entire carpet, like room length, is just clean and perfect, and there is a light smell of perfume. A little bit fruity, a little bit chocolatey. Prestidigitation plus.
That's beyond our mortal capabilities.
Oh no, it's a level 2 spell, actually. I could happily teach it to you or give you a couple of scrolls.
I was mostly joking.
Well, okay. Suit yourself then. More
No, I
cleaning
meant
spells for
about
us.
it. No, I meant about it being beyond mortal capabilities.
I know, and I am teasing you. Gods have
They,
been known to tease occasionally. And yeah, as you exit, you guys see Captain Callum. He was leader of this insertion force and a senior member of the Nighthold. He is standing at the entrance to the temple, leant upon a pillar. He appears to be standing just fine and is tapping his foot. Although he is watching his foot tap as he taps his foot. When he looks up and sees you all again, it's with a faint smile. Welcome. Good to see you all again. Sir Tristan,
Captain,
you're
sir.
looking well.
Just a snap a crisp salute.
He too does so, although you can sense that there's just like this, like not even a millisecond, you just sense that there is a delay to his salute before his hand returns, but it's almost uncanny valley. Like, you clearly see the intent on his face, like, before even a split-second moment the hand
You're
follows and does.
looking well as well? Garrus said you were not.
That is unfortunately the case. I am quite paralyzed from the neck down, basically.
So it's kind of look up and down like,
Yes, I can sense the confusion. He gestures the little crown he's wearing. This thing here is using my limbs like puppet strings. I'm controlling them, but they are not moving under my power. It's taking
That's
a lot of
incredible.
getting used to. Quite incredible, yes. It's just, as I say, a little unfortunate. I also now don't have the parts required for eating dinner. Or, well, I do, but certainly not for digesting it, which is a bit of a shame. Got bitten through the middle. He gestures at himself, like just below the rib cage and then down to the hip, and then as far across as like the end of his abdomen
Ouch.
on the other side of his body. Yes, turns out that we quite need spines. Unfortunately, I appear to only have, I don't know, half a foot of spine left.
Okay, so
I
next
was
full
just about to
moon, we
say,
need to bring this
Warforged,
guy
though.
to Ronnie.
Oh, I
I
mean,
got-
I'm already operating like one,
We were
surely.
thinking about
I had to get
taking
up for a
Captain
second.
Callum
What's
here,
this about
the
Ronnie?
paralyzed Ronnie.
Sorry, Ronnie, the moon
Goddess.
wife, not Ronnie,
Oh,
the little sister.
Not the perfect.
Although
not
she
my
would-
perfect little sister.
Yeah, no,
Or
not your
twin
perfect little sister. But, she would be stoked on seeing Callum. He's operating his completely paralyzed body with a crown that lets him control his limbs like a puppet strings.
So, that a no to the Warforged thing then?
I don't necessarily rule it out. It seems to be working
That's
for
Bob.
whoever you are there. Sorry, I don't believe.
Oh, right.
I don't believe we've been acquainted.
This is
Yeah. Sir Bob, pleasure to meet you. Archdruid of the Executioner's Grove.
I'm unfamiliar with the Grove, but then I suppose Druid's not my speciality. I was more in the realm of praying to Hagen and stabbing things, or to the dragon, which is also awkward now after meeting
all
Red
right.
Eye.
That's great.
Yes, she seems to be the friendly sort. A little bit too friendly with the Lady Isabel for a dragon, if
Oh.
I do say so myself, but
Tell that to the other two dragons as well.
he shrugs. Yes, exactly. I find myself quite admired in them at the moment. And you know what? I don't have it in me to dislike these particular ones, considering they
Yeah, I gotta
helped
say,
save my
having
unit.
prowled around the continent a bit, I haven't met a dragon I don't like yet.
Oh,
Yes,
She
we
was
have. Falling
insane,
Star.
though. It's not necessarily her
Falling
fault.
Star.
there's no guarantee an insane person was a nice
Oh,
person
true,
before
but
they
we also
became
don't
insane,
have
said
proofs that she
Tristan,
wasn't.
but
Just only knew her when she was bonkers. Read her poetry, though. It was pretty nice.
fair. Poetry? Well, okay, I'll take your word for it. But yes, I won't turn down more restoration. I can fight, I can move as I am. It's just a little bit of
Well,
getting used to at the
come
moment.
any full moon, we know where a forge is to move souls into Warforged bodies, if that's something you'd be interested in.
Will I look like a sparkly twink just to put that one
I
aside?
she
No
Do
offense
you
to you,
want
Sir
to?
Bob, but I rather am fond of the
She does
masculine
custom
look and my
orders.
facial hair. I see. Well, I've always wanted to be a 7-foot killing machine. Maybe that will do.
7-foot killing machine we met, also pretty nice, actually. Yeah, also
Faunra
fun was
nods
pretty
at
nice.
this approval.
Yes, it is very fun being a large killing machine.
Yes, and yourself. I am familiar with you, Sir Ariel. I do not recall you being quite so very large.
I wasn't until recently. Taps the armor.
Congratulations on your sizing up.
You should have just you should have gaslit him. You said, "I've always been this tall." You just remembered incorrectly.
I'm pretty sure people would remember if I was 15 feet tall.
Surely someone would fall for it, though, and it would be quite funny for a minute.
Yeah, we're not supposed to bully stoners, though, are we?
No, that'd be quite rude, really.
Yes, it's good to see all of you intact.
Yes.
Has Karis already
You
met
gathering
up
the
with
rest of
you?
your unit now, looks like.
Excellent. Do you have any
Yeah,
information
we just
on what
finished
we have to
taking over
expect out
the
there?
old dragon keep in the mountains here. Everyone's gathering up there, Grandmaster included, a whole bunch of commanders. I'll brief you on the whole situation then, I imagine.
All
We'll
right. Do you
just
have
take you
directions
there,
to
I
this
reckon.
fortress? Ah, very well then. Oh, I shall see to it. Make sure that Karis has collected the drunks. Some of them have gotten a little bit lax after sitting around, although that might also be the trauma.
Trish will just nod understanding.
Oh, we lost a lot of good men and women on the way up here. Took more than our fair share. There were a lot of wild beasts in the woods leading up to the mountains, and on either side of them, to be
Yeah,
fair.
we've got a whole nest of ropers.
Now it's just down to fucking Velthramar. Oh, ropers. Hate those damned things. Yeah, no sooner do we start slaying hilarious numbers of foul beasts following up on this lead that raiders are building up in the area, only to find that they basically rule the roost, so I'm glad that you've all turned up to give them a right
Yeah,
fucking seeing to.
It's not just us, as
Yeah,
well.
there's a whole army on the march now. The island should be clear before too long. We've still got the southern half.
Nearly every night hole has sent someone in to help with it.
The southern half is probably going to be the dangerous one. That's where they started. Lots of outposts out there. We had a couple of rangefinders, but sadly they were also the first ones to get sniped off when the beasts began hunting. So we are currently out of scouts. We're all still foot soldiers, are mostly intact, but it certainly is hard losing that many good people.
We'll make the bastards pay for it.
You'd better believe it. Oh, and if you see the fangy bastard who did this to me, bring me
Will do,
back his
Captain.
fucking head.
You could probably make a weapon out of his fangs, really.
Oh, I fucking intend to. I'm gonna shove him up Velt's
Damn
shithole
straight.
as we speak.
Think you'll have a long line for taking down Velthama.
That's fine. We'll put him in the fucking We'll put him in stocks made of solid fucking silver and go on him each.
You make weapons out of the teeth. You make weapons out of the teeth and use the skull as a lavatory seat.
You better fucking believe it. Gonna use it as a swamp dinghy.
Alright. Alright, now that mental image is in there, I'm gonna go hit the Arcanist before we leave.
Yes, I'm gonna go see the potioneers
Yeah.
and see what alchemical recipes I can gather here.
Yeah, sure, they got a
Or
big
what
old
else?
place for doing that. And yeah, there's a
Oh.
smithy right next door to them. They're both pretty great.
Out of character. And what fucking potions we can buy because we're fucking low.
Yeah, I need to re-up
We are,
potions.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do they even take money here?
That's a good question.
They do. Well, sort of. They prefer to trade in components, if that makes sense. Obviously,
It
there's only a
makes
limited
sense,
amount
yeah.
of stuff they can get here without just like fabricating it with raw lucre. On the plus side, it means they basically just make stuff for its value, if that makes sense. They have no need for fucking upselling
Nice.
a bunch of knights.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Hallie,
Winter, I did set you up and everything.
Oh,
It's like an hour ago.
yes, I know. It's like,
There was a lot of talking and Tristan having emotions. It's true,
yeah.
and then he forgot them.
My favorite use of modified memory.
I mean-
Correction. This is a modified memory. Just starts playing like the advertisements that pop up in the middle of a playlist.
Tristan, this is a modified memory. You had something
Or
that
the-
made you sad for just a minute. Now you
Well,
don't.
those
welcome.
video editors that just like, this is a trial version. Disconcerting.
This is a trial memory. Would you like to buy more?
Oh god. So yeah, the guys will interact. Hallie, at some point you are able to, tumble out of Miranda's bed, sloshing a little bit. There are a few tied off prophylactics that have been bundled up against the wall. At some point your knees will work, but this is not that point.
How does Hallie sloshing if the prophylactics are tied off?
Because
That's
you
not how
still
that
have
works.
because you
And
still
a
have a
mouth.
butthole.
Oh, that's true.
And a mouth.
But here's the thing. Miranda's very strong, so she can just carry Hallie.
This is, very correct. She will, as you say, when she finishes up, pop you up on a knee. Alright, where do you want to go next? I imagine you want to see something before we're all gone. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Do you wanna I think I saw like a veranda thingy? And everything looked really nice and pretty.
Right you are. I'll go grab some drinks and we can go over there.
Hooray!
Yeah. She'll scoot out and she'll see Paladin and Karis, who will up-nod the both of you.
Hallie will just wave. What actual rank is Paladin Garrus, by the way?
Like
Is
a
she
lieutenant.
like?
She works for Captain Callum as like second in command.
Okay, so she's like Hallie's rank.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't
I-
know that you're the
for
same
some-
rank as her now. But
Yeah, for some reason I thought that she was like a knight commander.
Nope. No. Captain Callum's the one in charge of the insertion unit, and Karis is the one that keeps the wheels turning. Just like you do for Trist, except you keep his wheels turning by keeping him from getting sad.
True.
You need to learn
Although
modified memory. It's amazing.
Although that job has become much easier with after he met Cassie.
Yeah, getting your dick wet will do that to you.
Yeah, and at least when they're sad together, it's not as bad as when he was sad alone.
Indeed. They can be sad together.
Yeah.
Wonderful. When she heads out to the veranda, you can see that there are a couple of people, including a number of the knights, at like finishing a swim in the lake here. Because there is a lake under the lake. Of course there is. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Many people will, in fact, come out as well to greet you. They will put on pants before they come up and greet you. Because you are Hallie. And Hallie is great. And all the knights love Hallie.
They're mostly dragons, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
insertion
so-
force was like fucking 95% dragons.
Yeah, so Hallie,
Yeah,
Hallie knows all these dragons by like a first name basis.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yes! To just see Hallie, the radiant golden move salvation. Their fucking emotional support move.
Oh, these guys! Don't worry, these guys did come with 2 emotional support bimbos. just to
Every
keep them-
squad has
keep
one
the
standard edition.
functioning. You don't send. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a flag bearer.
Otherwise, all the dragons
except
would
it's
just
a
kill
sad
themselves.
bearer. You definitely need at least one around, because if you mire yourself in the darkness killing them, then that's a really easy way to Batman yourselves
It's
without
true.
a bimbo around. Yeah, you meet their emotional support bimbo, of course. She's been swimming as well. In underwear, but the underwear is white, so it leaves literally nothing to the imagination.
It's okay. That's just what hugs are for.
Heck yeah, you get a big ol' hug. Miranda is more than happy to watch this hug happen, because it's a squeationing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's very clear that with 2 bimbos in the same main, they have to do the lean forward hug. Otherwise, they can't get their arms around each other.
You definitely can't reach otherwise. She's got that, like, the tea time sweater body. What was that sketch? It turned up, I think, in work chat earlier on yesterday.
I don't think we're
Dump
in
it
the
in.
same kind of work chat.
Yeah. No, we aren't. I'm gonna grab it and dump it in.
My work chat is mostly about meetings and
Yeah,
whether
mine
or
is
not
like
the machines are up
90%
again.
born.
There you go. There you go. That's the emotional. That's what it looks like, in fact, when you hug her. Yay!
Yay!
Any
Listen, we gotta
clothing is
have
just
another
born to be
meeting,
stretched
okay?
to uselessness the moment they put it on. No sweater is powerful enough.
Also from work chat right above that.
But yeah. What?
Tajana and Hallie seen
Yep.
from above.
Yeah, also above that is some good muscle. Faunra and Rani.
Hallie will spend some time. Listen, now that Hallie and the other emotional support bimbo are here, no one can escape the colon capital D capital D capital D.
This is true. They can't escape your colon or your D's.
Well, I'm fairly certain that unless something's changed, the only one the only one that Miranda has collared so far is Hallie.
Yep.
Which, I mean, it is a strong opening mood for a Manticore's harem.
She seems to be pretty much just content with you, and then whoever else seems to follow around sniffing your buns. She will, of course, insist that, she banged this other bimbo as well, because she's been away for like ages, and she's very sexy, but
Oh,
I mean,
she hasn't collared anyone but Hallie.
Hallie. In response, Hallie will to the other bimbo, Hallie will just say, obvious.
Sage nod. Yeah, Land, you two were dating. It's so cute.
Yay! Not just that, and Hallie will just point at her collar.
Nice. Oh, I just got a jingly bell. You know what? I was thinking about getting jinglies too, but I wanted to get them on my boobs. So when I bounced, a jingle, and it would get everyone's attention, and then they would snap out of whatever they're doing, and we move on. Kara says that I'm very helpful for making everyone move.
I didn't go with bells. I went like with door knockers, and they make my milk all chocolatey.
That's pretty great.
It is.
Mine just tastes like milk.
And Tristan also gave me a ice cream maker thingy. We can make ice cream.
Nice. Tristy's here. I'm gonna give him a hug.
Yeah. He I actually don't know where he is.
I'm sure I'll find him. Or Karis will. She always finds whoever she's looking for and tugs him by the ear.
Meanwhile, pachinko noises from down the street.
Ching, 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 ching. Come on, Papa needs a new pair of great lances.
Time to
Hell
get
yeah.
that 6-star weapon. Let's go.
All right, shall we end this then with a
Gotcha,
quick
yeah.
chink?
Well,
right.
at least let Winter do the thing to set up with Franco. Come on.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Taji. Taji.
Mhm.
Taji. Taji. I'll just like drag you all to the tavern map.
Yeah.
I think Hallie's the only one that's seen this so far. It's pretty
Yep.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Honest Arms Tavern.
Nice.
Go grab you all.
Look at how angry this elf is. Look how edgy she is.
Oh yeah.
As I was trying to say before, it's the fucking elf that was linked to August's sword.
We don't we don't know
Fucking
what
owned.
But yeah, hey Kinathis, look at this edgy elf.
Well, she needs a hug.
Oh wow, that is an edgy elf.
I know, and apparently her little crown thing bleeds and she has to like wipe it off. So I'm not sure, but she's graduated to beyond shopping at Hot Topic and Zoomies, and now we need to figure out where she gets her clothes.
Hot Topic come to her to take surprise sketches. Get fucking Tavern dabbed on there. It was a really nice one. I was like, this is about the perfect size. It's in a nice, like, green wooded area. There's probably like a park outside. It looks just about perfect.
I like bartender
mean-
elf.
Yeah, she looked quite motherly.
All the little moon godlike are great.
And yeah, as you... Yeah. There are obviously more people in here in a couple of nights, but didn't want to completely fill the map. These two look like twinsies. They're very, very similar looking, except, one isn't edgy.
Oh, say Rona and Mori.
Nah, it's,
Herman and Mori aren't actually related at all.
the serene Nestra and tempestuous Arahan. And no, Mori and Herona aren't related. These two are just twins.
Yeah, but one is edgy and other is bimbo. So
Mori's not nearly that edgy.
You don't know that they're bimbo yet.
Mori's not edgy.
black goth makeup and his blood is actually
Look,
like,
being goth itself
fucking
is
bimbo
not even
blonde.
close to being edgy.
It's true. It's true. Have you ever met a pastel goth? I'm not kidding.
They're
That's
called
actually a thing.
punks.
Oh yeah, Pastel
Yeah, I
goth are great.
No, and they're not called punks.
Although you can get something punk goth. I might actually no. I'm pretty sure you can get. They're called pastel punk goth. Just like you have, what is it? Haze punk goth, which is where they wear the fucking, toxic masks and stuff.
Man, I just hang out with the losers and the gutter punks. What do you want from me?
Gutterbugs. It is accurate representation. Ah, joy.
I just have punk orc girlfriend.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Headbutt your problems away. Get an orc.
They don't mind. They don't have a brain behind them. Behind the orky skull. It's fine.
All right. So yeah,
Orc, you're such a
Taji,
good
you
girl.
enter. Indeed, Taji, you enter to the dulcet tones of sweet Spanish guitar.
Oh, I gotta return with guitar sounds of my own.
Just enters the fucking room matching
Yeah,
Il
yeah.
Franco.
Indeed, and then as you start to walk along the room, it like obviously draws everyone's attention because there's now this fucking dueling Spanish guitar. He's basically given you a soundtrack to walk into. And there she is, one of the world's most beautiful women. Not only that, El Franco knows this beautiful woman can become any beautiful woman. Dun, 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 dun.
It's been a long while, Il Franco.
It has. Il Franco's heart weeps for not having been able to enjoy the morning sunrise of your 2 full moons.
You are such a charmer.
Il Franco tries his best. And he would like to invite you to his very lovely room with its soft silken sheets, so that he might have the more intimate pleasures of your company between tales of courageous exploits. Also, is it Il Franco's imagination, or have you gotten more jacked?
It's probably just where I left myself, right?
Well, back then you hadn't finished moving your stats around, so he hasn't seen like post-mimic Taji build.
Well, it's not much more strength. It's like
It just in general, you probably just seem
El
more
Franco
powerful.
can smell character levels.
yes. It's
Il Franco has a very
Indeed, I
high
have.
passive insight, which helps so that he does not get in a fight with someone
I
or
mean, he
flirt
wants
with
to do the
someone who
latter
will kill
part.
him. He does, but there are certain ways one would like to go, and Il Franco doesn't want to die having his penis and balls removed by an angry woman. He would like to have them removed, losing them inside him.
Anyway,
Do you accept Il Franco's most generous offer, or would you prepare to drink first and tell tales?
let's start with the drinks. Yes, but the betting will be implied. Yes.
Most perfect. Il Franco enjoys a lady who knows betting is implied. And yeah, you can settle in and tell tales. El Franco will give you advantage to some grand courageous retellings and a little bardic inspiration die at d6.
Amazing. Well, that cancels out my. That only cancels out my.
You could make it up to a 15 at least.
It's hard. And by which I
No.
mean, yeah, you could give it d6. All right, so it's
Well,
it's hard
Wait.
to recount the tale for the most part because you're busy.
Is that enough to get up to 17?
To get what, up to 17? Sorry.
My natural +5 for succeeding.
Oh right.
You didn't succeed though.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
it's a
think
DC 10 or
12.
something. Yeah.
It's not a DC 10. I don't think a 12 quite cuts it.
Yeah.
Probably like DC 15. These guys have been listening to Grand Tales of Chivalry for a while, and also they've been here for a couple
Fair
of weeks with El Franco. And he's very good at telling tales. Like, he's set an expectation here. So it proves hard, and mostly because El Franco is hard.
Tajana's distracted.
Yes, clearly. But also
Mm.
knows it would be harder, even more difficult to tell the tale whilst sitting in El Franco's lap and trying to consume an entire knot.
Mm.
It seems Il Franco has distracted this beautiful woman. You have not been left wanting on your journeys, have you?
Oh, just been. My boy, he's been away a while.
Oh, a dry spell is a tragedy for such a beautiful woman. Il Franco will make it up to you.
Wonderful.
And he hopes tomorrow that he will not feel his own hips.
Isn't that what happened last time too?
Indeed, Il Franco
Yes.
nearly died. It was glorious.
Hadji is how most people want to die, it's true.
Smothering.
Shape shifting cat girl waifu.
I know.
So it's a good play. All right, El Franco, show the people what you got. Let us see here, Il Franco. The glorious. Let us go with the simple acrobatics. Oh no, Il Franco's going to die
no.
again. Il Franco is going to perish. There's no fixing a one, even really Il Franco's the Il Franco bonus.
D6 +6 for being Il Franco.
Exactly. He gets Il Franco
love
gets his Il Franco bonus once per turn on any D20 Il Franco rolls because he is Il Franco.
I love him.
If Il Franco ever had legendary actions, his legendary action would be the Il Franco bonus. But yeah, it is a difficult time. Both of you have obviously just been going through a dry spell, and Il Franco pulls a groin muscle.
Oh.
Oh, you can feel that one is not.
Well, he'll at least get a cure. He'll at least get a cure wounds in the morning.
Yep. A different paint will remember you to buy, but a pain nonetheless.
Mhm.
Alright.
Yes.
Let us close out on Gacha and then EXP.
All the fucking
I need
lever.
to go eat food.
I'm
Pull
gonna
the
order
fucking
pizza
lever,
after
Croc.
this.
Pizza.
I'm so hungry.
Ooh, I want pizza. I think my roomie's cooking. It smells like food has been cooked. Alright, so let's see here. Great
think
sword,
that-
staff, short sword. +1, +1, +1. They're all +1s, yes?
Yes.
Oh no, they're +1s. The short sword is not a plus.
Didn't want to overload it, you know? Well,
That
it's
makes
more
sense.
like
Makes
if
sense.
Do you
it's
think you can
combining into
overload their
something that's
stuff?
better than all three of them. If I put in more than 3 +1s, I ain't getting a fucking +4.
I don't think
Who
you're
the
gonna
fuck
get like
knows?
up to
We
a
don't know how the
+3 with
gacha
them,
works.
really.
That's we could if I put in
Oh,
6
you're right, you're
ones, we
right,
might get a
yeah, true.
+6. Who the fuck knows?
Okay. Alright. So first of all, just because I have this table still, what color is this item going to be?
Perfect.
Dark red. Okay.
Alright, so
It
Oh,
we'll have
matches all the
a
babes I took
blood
with
red
me.
weapon.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking edgy.
Yeah, literally, it is almost certainly the same color as Red Eye's hair, like that darker red there. Oh, Taji is ocean blue. How lovely.
Yes.
Okay,
She still wakes up with a different hair color every morning. Just out of
Yeah.
habit.
all right. By the weapon list, it'll be a martial, because I think a
Alright,
that's
greatsword is
good.
probably the most expensive of all of those weapons that went in there, and so defines that.
That is good. Martial weapons are the better weapons.
Okay, D2.
Come
One is
on, give
one-handed,
daddy a
2 is
one-handed,
two-handed.
damn it.
It's a two-handed. Wait, you
No,
can get a
that's
one-handed
not
weapon
the
with a
two-handed
two-handed because you can have a
quality.
longsword.
This is true.
It would
No,
just be the versatile.
it's still called a one-handed weapon. Yeah,
Ah.
the two-handed quality is its
Could
own
be.
quality.
Well,
That
this
would
is a
be
Faunra weapon.
the glaive, the great axe, the great sword, the halberd, the pike. The lance doesn't have the two-handed quality. Which
No,
is,
the lance
well,
is
yeah, I guess
special.
it
It
doesn't,
doesn't?
if you're honest. No, because it's not two-handed unless you're on
No.
foot.
I thought it was normally
It does not
two-handed,
have
and
the
then you
two-handed
had the special
property.
rules of it being one-handed.
It's not a
when
one-hand weapon. It is a special weapon. It has its own brick of rules.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, in fact, it adds on. Also, it
And
requires
then
two
also
hands
you
to
get
wield when you aren't
disadvantage
mounted.
to attack
Mm.
anyone adjacent to you. It's kind of lame.
Yep.
Actually,
I
it's
mean,
just
the
bad
lance is a bad
it's
weapon
true,
on a
the lance
horse.
is just
Yes,
a bad
that's the
weapon.
point of a fucking lance. Sit
Yeah.
on cast.
I
It's
mean, yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
The
fair
fucking D12 was a one-hander.
Okay, then. Okay, give me a D2. Is it going to be
Reach?
a
Question
reach
mark?
or not?
Nice.
It's got reach. Okay.
Nice, nice, nice.
Alrighty then. Let us see here. That narrows them down to these.
It's like
Glaive,
4
halberd,
weapons.
pike.
3 weapons.
Pike.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's a dragon pike.
Alrighty. Okay.
Oh boy.
Let's roll for damage type.
I think psychic should be slightly weighted because I
Oh
put in
boy.
2 psychic damage items.
Sure. That's the weight, if you would like. Let's go with a D6.
No, it's a
3 or
thunder.
a 4 is a psychic.
A thunder pike.
Thunder!
Thunder.
Whoa! Thunder pike. All right. First, major power.
All right.
D3.
No.
Oh, you want a
I got
1 here. You want
mobility.
a 1. Oh.
All right, so its first augment power is a mobility ability. Which is fine, because most of those do tend to have damage rolled into them, to be fair.
Fair enough.
I mean,
In
it
fact,
could be
they're
like
literally a
a
thunder-based
Thunderstep,
ability move.
There's a
which is a
spell,
pretty
but
crit
yeah.
spell, TBH.
Thunderstep!
It's
Here's a
kind of
pretty
ideal for
spicy
either
spell.
Faunra or Tristan, because we tend to get stuck in alone.
Okay. And the next is the resource requirements. Your proficiency numbers a day,
Uh-oh.
like per rest or at the cost of your own health.
Mm.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a
Oh wait,
it's a vampiric
it's
weapon,
blood red,
clearly.
so it's like
A
fuck,
thunder
is it-
vampire.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be like
Yeah.
the
Alright.
fucking bleeding
Now this
weapon
is
from
looking more
Bloodborne,
like a
what's it
Tristy
called?
weapon again. 'Cause it kills you.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Savin. Transform the vampiric ability onto it. And
We'll see how it works.
I mean, we don't know how much it is yet.
Yep,
Also-
also wait and see. Also, because health counts as your what is it? Another word for downside, but whatever. The downside is that it's health as opposed to as a resource
Oh.
spendable. That does qualify you for another major augment.
Come on, get a 1. No, it's more
Also
mobility.
damage.
This is a zoomy pike.
It's another mobility.
More mobility. The
Oh man,
blink
it would be
pike.
cool if this was something you like yeet at somebody and then you teleport to the pike.
Fucking dragoon.
That probably is going
Oh.
to be it. It's
Ooh.
probably going to be a
Gungnir.
thunder double tap. So,
Gungnir.
Hmm?
Gungnir. Odin's Sphere.
God, what was Gungnir's shtick?
It couldn't be stopped, but then when he threw it there, on occasionally there could be a thunderous strike where it struck,
Right.
but he could also go to where it struck if needed.
I mean, also, Gungnir just means the coolest. Gungnir, literally, it's the coolest meaning of any ancient mythical weapon. It just means the rocking.
Alright, it looks like we are
Nice.
Get
prepping
rocked.
fucking Gungnir for Faunra.
All
Listen,
right.
if fate has taught me anything, it's that Gable gets the best spear.
The British.
Okay,
The Irish spear. Sorry, Irish people listening.
The gay
the
bulge,
Kai
yes.
Yeah.
Because it will revert causality to make sure that it always pierces the heart.
I think the original one was just it turned into like a massive bunch of like spikes that would just splinter and embed in you, and you ripped out the rest of it.
I don't know, but
It was a
yeah,
flower of
Fate's one says
thorns.
it reverses causality,
Well, yeah, but fate obviously.
so it
isn't.
hit you because you
I
died.
know that's why I said like
Oh yeah,
if fate has taught me
it hits you
anything,
because you died is pretty great as far
it
as
hits
reasoning
you
goes.
because you died.
That's
Okay.
stupid.
It is.
Imagine if you got like 3 mobility things and be like, well, when you cast it, you get haste as well. Just triple down on all mobility.
I haven't prettied up the card, but
Whoa.
here it is.
Wow.
Pretty
Decent.
strong bit of kit.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fucking spicy.
I thought it would be fun.
Yeah, not
It
gonna lie,
also
that
suits.
was
It
actually
also
pretty-
suits for two mobility powers. One for
Alright.
delivering yourself,
And
and
now
one for
to give
blinking
it to
back.
Red Eye, since this is Tristy's. No.
I mean, clearly, it doesn't do more damage than your
I mean,
sword.
it's true.
so you
My
have to
sword
give it
is
away 'cause
infinitely
it
better
just
than
doesn't
that.
matter.
No,
It's like
you talk-
a pike that does 1d6
Yeah,
extra
now we
damage.
need to toss in.
You can talk to me when you deal 3d6 extra damage.
Yeah.
That's
So
still
just
less
It
than my
does
sword.
2d6 plus 3 if you throw it.
It's only a plus
What's your
1,
son's
but it
closest
currently
damage?
does this much. Bonk. So it's at 2d4, 1d6,
I guess
1d6,
2d4 and a
and
d6
then
plus 1. It's not
so it's
the minimum damage of
how
extras
nice.
is the identical to this one's minimum. Yeah, I'm just saying the minimums are the exact
The
same,
plus
but
itself
there's not
is
a
nice
huge
just for
difference.
accuracy's sake, though. I would like to eventually have a weapon that has more than just a plus 1 on it. But it will not be this fucking sword.
Yeah,
What?
that
Especially since I don't have
would be
a
good for you.
fucking...
Do you
Just
know if
yeet
it's
that
just-
off into the stratosphere, you moron!
Well,
Whoosh!
It's the second one I've used today because I've done it. Talked to myself when I tested earlier to make sure the dice were working.
You just
why did you
fucking
waste-
swung a sky cutter at the air.
Hey, you know what? I'll get it again. Don't you
Ah,
fucking
Lord.
worry.
Well, is it possible to throw in Gungnir plus 3 and another weapon to reroll?
Alright, so I'm gonna take Gungnir
could get
and
something
my
worse,
Dragon Pike,
Technically, you
throw
could.
those
no
in,
guarantees.
and then we're gonna get an artifact out of this. Come on, baby!
That's a gamble.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm
That
not
is a
doing that. I'm
gamble.
kidding.
Alright, I
Kidding.
will let you roll a
Not
d2.
actually-
On a 1... Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna
do it.
say, you roll a d2 on a coin flip. It either is destroyed
Yeah,
or
no,
you
this
get an
sword is the
artifact.
best magic item I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm not throwing that away for anything.
Uh,
But as I was trying to get an answer, Skow, it's possible to throw Gungnir back in. to
Why
get a
would you
reroll?
want to? Gungnir is great.
As I just said, I mean, yes, you could. You could throw it back in with 3 more magic items to get a reroll. But also, there's no guarantee you get a better weapon than this.
Yeah.
We should definitely keep this.
I mean, yeah,
sure
we
we can
have
find
a
4 other
bajillion
items to
magic
throw in,
items,
right?
but I don't. Yeah,
We can do that
because
in
we
our
have a
town.
bunch
We
of
can do
just
that
like
between
generic plus
sessions.
ones and
yeah.
plus 0 vampirics sitting in inventory. If you guys want to dick around with that.
Yeah,
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 where they
but
have
those
inventory.
vampiric things should be going on to... what's it called? What's the fucking name? On to people who need it. I must have want fucking a vampiric shit on Faunra so that he heals. So the goddamn barbarian heals himself
That's-
every time the
that's
goddamn
funny.
fucking swing shit, which is really fucking nice.
If I don't die again, I can't progress this Deva storyline I've got.
That is true.
Okay, you just do what they did to Ursula, just push you off a fucking mountain.
That's
Let you fall.
so not nearly as thematically interesting as dying gloriously in battle only to be brought back after the fact.
Yeah, I need to ask something in between sessions, but I'll ask later in the Han.
Sure.
Okay.
Shall we go to experience?
That's like walking down to the corner store and buying a magical
Yeah, it's lame.
reagent instead of going out and finding it yourself.
You look in here, there's a magical reagent store just like down the road. Son of a bitch.
Magical reagents are us.
Alright.
I think so.
Did you explore a new interesting location for the first time?
You sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
New interesting
Yeah.
truth about the land?
Yeah.
Actually,
New
yeah,
ally or
we've
lasting
met
enemy?
these knights for the first time. We've
No.
never seen them before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you've
true.
never interacted with Captain Callum or Paladin Karis before.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, we've
Advanced completed quest.
finally met back up with Bell.
Yeah, rescue.
Yeah.
Yep, and you've saved Bell and the knights to
Yeah,
a horrible
damn.
fate of being stuck in paradise.
No.
What a shame. Defeat a threat far beyond expectations? No. Learn
Learned
something
how to
new
cure
about a
Chrissy's
player
depression.
character.
Just modify the sad memories away, Fivehead.
The modify memories spell.
Yeah, we learned more about
Ariel.
Ariel's ancestry.
Yes, yes. You've learned more about the ancestry of your burn Ariel.
Yeah.
Turns out Agriella did your ancestor, her sister, fucking dirty, and then returned to the blade as a whole magical thing instead. Had been reforged by these lovely Asyrrans after someone chucked a fucking hilt in.
Yeah. That's gonna... We're gonna have to tell that to Mom here in a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that is 5.
Woo.
All right. Before the
4,
session
28.
ends, since we're spending time here in Paradise, can I, or I guess, would I even need to throw a roll on the Seduce Bell quest? Milady, right?
I suppose the real question is, do you want to throw a roll out for it? Or do you want to
I
try
would
and
definitely
wing it in
prefer to
RP?
roll. All right. We'll
All
spend
right,
my
give me a roll.
inspiration on this. Let's see. Clearly, I should roll Intimidate. No. Boop. I do. I am indeed going to use my
got your die
my
as
D4.
well.
Yeah, have you got a hero die?
There you go. Oh, push me over L25-0. Suck that, dragon.
All right. Oh, red eye. Look at that. You got beaten out. I think, at least.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, why does it have to be beaten out? And just
It's
we
true.
can join
This
the
is true.
harems.
Yeah. Everything's coming up, Tristy.
Just leave Red Eye and Cass alone in a room. Leave Tristan and Bell alone in the room. Then you take the 2 rooms and you pull the wall out between them.
Keys in the bowl, guys. Keys in the bowl. Oh, goodness. All right, red eye. What are your charisma skills like anyway? Oh, fuck.
I'm
God,
not
dragons are really
surprised.
good at persuade, actually.
Yeah, they're dragons. What do you
Dab.
expect?
All right, you beat her out.
Not that good.
Yep.
Actually.
Yeah, I forgot Red Eye. Red Eye
Oh,
is
hold on.
one of my old
Hold on, I forgot.
custom
Hold on. Just to
bosses
further
from
dab
Orcs.
on Red Eye. There we go.
Mm.
Just push that up to a 30 real quick.
Nice.
Thanks for running, Skow. I gotta
You're
go to
very
bed.
welcome.
Good night,
All right,
Trey.
good sleep.
Bye.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
See you
Savin.
in a few hours, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just like a Senatrea is an ancient dragon with 20 wizard levels. Red Eye is an adult red with
That sounds about right.
7 or
So
8
she's
paladin
the
levels on it.
Laprida build.
Yep. She has
Yeah.
protection,
lot of
conquest,
auras.
and courage.
Uh,
It is, and I rolled them all. I mean, like a paladin has all of those auras. So I just if they're a conquest paladin, which
Mm-hmm.
makes fucking sense for the war god daughter. So yeah, rolled them all into one. Let's see that and that But like she's a retrofit of an old boss. Her only legendary action was this. Which is
Wow.
it's still pretty fucking good.
sad. Okay.
I mean, 2 legendary actions on someone who's already got Paladin levels to augment their survivability is pretty good. She's not a legendary you fight alone. She's a legendary you fight with people to
Yes, of
benefit from
course.
her being a
She's
Paladin.
the legendary
Oh, okay.
captain of this adventuring party.
Basically, let's see here. She was taught Skavek's Smite because Skavek took care of
Sword
them all
Mom.
for their birth and youth. Sword Mom, Ashley Skavek. And then, of course, how could she not have a flanged mace?
Was that
I
how
thought
you
it was
say that
Scatha.
name? I thought I saw it was like Scathark.
Nope,
It's
Skavek.
Skatak.
Skavek.
Skatak.
Skatak.
I'm still going to pronounce it as Scathark, though.
I've always thought of it as
There's no R.
Skavek.
Where's the R?
But- And she does get a 1 a day because Mummy's currently in the
Zap.
sun.
The I'm calling my mom
Sabine!
on you.
It's like, oh yeah, I've got those, up to 3 levels of Paladin spells, which is nice. That gets her up to Revivify, very important. Has definitely helped them in the past. And then just jump all those levels and also Sunbeam 1 a day. Nah.
Well, here's the hilarity about Sunbeam. It's a concentration spell.
Like, she gives a shit. She doesn't. Those other things are called smite spell slots. She doesn't need
No,
those
but
for anything.
Yeah,
No, she can
but
keep
that's the
doing
thing.
Sunbeam.
Oh, yeah. She can just hold the beam down.
For
Fucking
full fucking minutes. So every
commanding
round you can
power
just
ion
Sunbeam
cannon.
an entire line.
Ah. She opens wide.
But as I tried to say earlier, Skow&D, let's see if there's any upgrades for the chassis of the Barbarian.
Sure. Let me know what kind of like resources and parts you would like to throw into that kind of construction. I'm gonna sort out some food, and my voice
Okay.
is done. I'm done talking words.
Well, if you're watching on the stream or
Yeah, I'm
YouTube,
fine.
thanks
I
for
need to
tuning in.
eat.
We
I'll
will
see you
see
later.
you later at some point. Till then, adios and do take care.